Hello and welcome to Keystone Copycats with Chris and Zach. I am your host, Zach, and he, of course, is your other host,
Christopher.
That's correct. So we're on a weird, wacky episode. That's what we call these, right?
Wackersons.
Wacky-sodes, they're called. So we're between season 1 and 2. We haven't announced what season 2 is yet, as you all know.
It's a surprise.
It's a surprise.
It's like a Christmas morning.
Yeah.
Except it's not worth anything.
We'll tell you on the next episode what it is. But as you saw last week, we've got guests. Humans, other humans. They're
Can we
here.
use the applause now? The applause effect?
I can't.
God damn it.
It's on the other. It's on the other board.
Everyone just imagine we did it. And applause at home.
Yeah, applaud at home.
I almost fucked that one up. Luckily, I winked. Why were you so late? Why'd you say I can't do it and then you did it anyway?
Because
you make me look like a fool each week.
Because the trigger pads are like different channels. I had to go to the other one to do it, so it took a minute to do.
You're just a man of a million excuses.
Yeah, no, it's really just that one excuse, like for everything.
You got Minnie
it's really
Mouse
just that one excuse. Anyways,
hi Sam.
So we've got a guest in not the Watterson studio, but my basement. Say hello. Shut up. Say hello.
I'm dying over here. Just introduce
Sam
me already.
Fisher. Hello, Sam. How are you?
Hi, Zach. Hi, Chris. I've been sitting over here, just being like, all right, when am I going to get in? When are they going to talk about me?
Sam's in the corner with his dick in his hand, just waiting.
I am. I mean, the minute you played that wonderful theme music, that felt like I was maybe going to be in an episode of Friday Night Lights. I was into it.
Oh, thank you.
I was into it.
Yeah, the ending with
hearts.
Zach breathing is good.
Actually, if you listen to the closing song, I did use breathing as percussion.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
I go, it's in there.
Fun facts.
It's in there. I didn't remember this in any way. You can't really hear it when I play it, but like I went into like the Pro Tools file and was like, oh, I might like do like a better mix of this or do something. I don't know. And like in it, I was like going through the stems and I was like, why is this labeled breathing? And then I listened to it and I was like, oh God. On its own, this is terrible.
So we're going to do basically just an episode of Broken Record, but just about the intro music and the outro music of the show.
Look, we did last week. He wants his headphones down. I did it
real discreetly, though.
No, I always have to call you out when you do stuff like that.
Actually, but now it's too low, so turn it back up a little bit.
Wow, how's that?
Just
never
right.
This
is the porridge. It's
all right, Goldilocks.
Better be. All right.
Oh, well.
We did it.
We did.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for coming. So remember last week, our guest is like a judge, right?
Yeah, our guest
judge is a nice word for this week.
Ooh, I see what you did.
Oh, I see what you did there. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't plan that. I wish I did.
Wordplay.
God, I'm an idiot. So anyway,
Sam, maniac of feet and fists.
Sam, you are. Stop it! Quit talking about the movies already. So, Sam, are you comfortable judging me and Zach? Seems like you've. I'm sorry, Zach and I.
Well, I'm not judging you. Aren't I judging your?
I wish
arguments? You would. You want me to judge you personally?
We're not talking about the movies, but you judge us as human beings.
Yeah, we're trash people.
But equally.
And at the end of this, I need you to do, like, when you give your verdict on which one wins, I need you to do your best Stallone. I am the law. I need that.
I have something to talk about. Remind me about Stallone, please.
Oh, boy.
Man, I remember when the Stallone one came out.
Yeah.
I never saw it, and I feel like me defending Dredd, I should have watched that one as well.
I don't know if I'd describe it as fun. It's definitely a movie.
Well, there's a great How Did This Get Made episode about it, for sure.
Yes, there is.
And it's worth it to watch just for that.
I wish we had a camera on this one so you could watch me reacting to both of you back and forth like a fucking parrot.
Yeah. Oh. Huh? Yes.
So you guys need to slow down talking because I can't keep up.
So we didn't announce what our movies are yet. So
just Sam.
We're talking about The Raid Redemption from 2011 and Dredd from 2012.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously not same year, but very close. And both movies where dudes have to fight their way up a building like a video
Well,
game.
and we can apartments, slum apartments.
Yeah.
So
I liked both of these movies. I thought they were very good. I had never seen
I
The
did
Raid
too.
before.
Having to defend Dredd, I will say I enjoyed both equally.
Same.
So I got that out of the way. Now I'm gonna fuck yours up.
Wow. Sam.
So anyway, who would you like to get us to do the synopsis
well,
first?
hang on.
Hang on. I'm on your side now. See how I did that?
Look,
hang
we're
on,
only
Chris.
6 minutes into this. We could chat a little more.
We're an
if we
hour
wanted
and
to.
6 minutes in.
Oh boy.
Oh, that's right.
He already forgot his own warning.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Yeah.
Well,
so
we're just supposed to talk about our day. How was your day, Zach?
how was your day? Did you have a good day today or a bad
What'd you
day?
do?
Yeah, what'd you do?
Yeah, I don't want to
That
talk
was
about my day.
Kramer. That was
I
a
don't want to talk
Kramer reference,
about
by
my
the
day.
way.
It sucked. They all suck.
I
That's
got to hang out with my wife, Patrick.
Mm-mm.
So my day sucked.
So as you heard last week, each of us defend a movie, and we're gonna give the IMDb synopsis to that movie.
Not mine.
Oh, you have your own
I have a
synopsis?
question.
Mine's the Hulu synopsis, and after
Okay,
I wrote
that's
mine,
fine.
I realized the IMDb was better.
I have
So
a
I still
question,
didn't do it though.
Before we start,
Yeah.
so we know that Raid came out 2011.
Dredd 2012.
Dredd 2012. When in 2012 did Dredd come out?
That's a good question. I'll take a look really quick. You guys vamp.
January 1st, so it was real close.
January.
Yeah,
No,
and the
I
raid
didn't.
came out December 30th. It's wild.
Because the
not-
Raid was
why
kind
not
of like
31st?
an indie. It was like
Just 2 days.
Damn it.
you know, like
you
it
say
went
indie
to-
because it was in Indonesia?
not indie, but it kind of did.
Hmm.
You know, it went to a lot of film festivals before it got
Yeah, that's true.
released.
That's
You know,
true.
They went to film festivals before they got distribution.
So what you're saying is maybe they shot at the same exact time.
well, I'm
Yeah, it's
wondering
possible.
when they shot. If one shot before, or if one was like not even in
September
production.
21st,
Hey,
2012
there's an awful
is
lot
Dredd.
of shooting in these movies,
There
right?
is a lot of
Can I get
shooting. You know what I mean? Yes, there is.
Oh, it was
boy.
just me laughing.
Okay, so official release for the raid is April 3rd. Oh, wait a second. So you're right. It was so it did the festival circuit in 2011. That's the official release date.
Yeah.
But the theater date is 2012. It's April 13th,
Interesting,
2012.
interesting. Okay.
And Dredd is September 21st, 2012. So they both
Interesting.
came out in theater in the same year, which is interesting. And the whole idea of this is like the idea that multiple studios or multiple people have a similar idea and make the same movie at the same time. So I'm not here to say that one was inspired by the other, but clearly one was made first.
One was made first, yeah.
Is your full name Samuel?
It is, yeah.
When I was trying to listen to you talk, and I kept thinking about how I wanted to call him Manuel Samuel for no fucking reason. That's why I was smirking at you.
I don't even get that.
It doesn't make any sense. But the more I thought about it, the more humorous it became.
Is it because you want to shift his
And I
stick?
didn't hear a word you said, and I was trying not to laugh at Sam the entire time I was thinking it.
To anyone who has listened to this show, I will give you a glimmer of hope that I am not going to do a long-winded monologue at all about how hopeful a movie is.
You can't with these.
No, you can't.
We'll probably
And
do it.
that's-
We'll
think
probably
you
do
can,
it next
I think
week.
You can, I don't know. I watched both these
We
films
will
last night.
cry and masturbate about The Prestige. I promise.
Whoa,
we
whoa,
will.
whoa! Why are you
I
giving
mean,
away
Just
the
bleep
movie?
it. Just bleep it.
Why are you giving me more
I didn't
work,
mean to,
you
just bleep it.
dildo?
I mean, it's clear what you're going to be doing the next time. Then
Yeah, but we usually do it at the end. That's okay. I'm going to leave it in because I don't want to bleep it.
Why don't you just go back and bleep it?
Why don't you?
Why don't you bleep your bleep and bleeper? That's from Rudolph.
from Root. Wait, huh?
It's a
it was
Christmas
Blinker.
movie, Sam. You've
yeah,
never
no,
seen
the
it.
claymation. The claymation.
I thought it was Blink
right?
Your Blinker.
Is it clay?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
it
little
is.
claymation people, and they go to the Island of Lost Toys.
Yeah, it's a Rankin
Misfit
Bass
Toys.
feature.
Once
Yeah,
again,
Misfit
Sam,
Toys.
watch a Christmas movie.
And
every
there's
now
the
and
guy
again.
with the silver guy.
Oh my God, he's butchering this.
Yukon Cornelius.
Yeah, that dude.
Silver and gold.
Yeah,
That's
that
the
guy.
snowman talking.
It
though.
is. But it's about Yukon Cornelius.
Yeah, that's a weird movie. Man.
So I'm here to argue for the year without a
Christmas is
Santa Claus. He's arguing for Rudolph.
Rudolph. Okay.
Oh,
wait,
I
you're gonna be
love
do-
when they got his fake nose on.
I thought you were going to be.
very comfortable.
Oh boy.
uh,
We talk over each other so much. We need to really learn how to have a guest and let him get lines in. Both of us.
I think I'm getting lines in.
Oh, good. I worry that we don't let you get in enough. I'm so sorry. Sam.
Yeah, as you should be.
I'm gonna bleep this whole episode. This is one
This
long
whole
bleep.
episode's just gonna all be every word's bleeped out.
That's right.
It's gonna sound like we have filthy mouths,
Yeah, more so.
like a dog.
All right, are we ready to get into this thing?
I would like a Coke.
You should go get one.
This
Before we get into
episode
it.
sponsored by Coca-Cola.
Sponsored by no one. Because we're losers. No one pays us to do things.
Can we talk about our movies yet?
That's what I asked.
Yeah.
I asked the judge.
I'm ready.
Well, I didn't want to talk over Sam, but then I just did right now.
Yeah.
Sam, would you like to determine who should go first to read their synopsis and give their opening statement?
I mean, let's have Dredd go first.
Dredd?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm doing Dredd. All right,
I
so
mean, I
here's,
know who's doing what.
here's the
so-
Hulu synopsis.
Yeah.
In a violent, futuristic city where the police have the authority to act as judge, jury, and executioner, a cop teams up with a trainee who's also a mutant. I added that part to take down a gang that deals the reality-altering drug slow-mo.
Slow-mo.
It's really cool. Too,
It is
the way
very-
they show it.
it's a
the
cool
way they
effect.
show it, but we
I'm
can't
gonna-
talk about it yet.
I'm going to take your synopsis and I'm going to slow it down to 1% speed so people will know what it's like to be on the drug.
We can't talk about my movie yet.
I didn't.
Okay.
That was about your intro.
Okay.
I mean, we're talking about the movie right now. We know there's a drug called slow-mo.
Yeah.
That slows down to
Not
1%.
not slow-mo, but slow-mo.
Oh, boy. But we'll get into that a little later. Oh, it's so stupid. All right, I'll do my synopsis that I got from IMDb. The Raid Redemption. A SWAT team becomes trapped in a tenement run by a ruthless mobster and his army of killers and thugs.
Is that it?
That's it. That's the
Yeah.
whole thing.
There's nothing about karate at all.
No, or about being a maniac of feet and fists, which is my favorite line of any
Man,
movie
yeah.
ever.
What is that line from? Maniac of
The
Feet and
Raid.
Fists?
It's
The
from
Raid,
The Raid.
the movie.
That line's
Did
in
you
the
even
movie?
watch these
Yeah, I
movies,
watched
Sam?
it last night.
Yeah. When he's talking about in the SWAT van, when he's talking about how he has two guys.
Two guys.
One is a mad dog,
Yeah.
a maniac of feet and fists. I was like, oh fuck, I love this.
Okay. I remember that now.
So you can just call it now for the maniac of feet and fists if you want.
No, I want to hear both cases.
Oh, am I,
Yeah.
well, you both
So
looked at me
Chris-
like I was supposed to say something.
Well, you're starting. You're
Yeah,
starting.
you started.
Oh, are
so
we
now
just
you can
doing
give your
quotes?
opening.
I mean, I want you to-
No.
So tell
You can
me.
give your like opening
oh,
argument or
of
whatever.
why mine's
Wait,
so much
Aren't
better?
you the host of this podcast?
Fucking-
Why am
yeah,
I telling
I
you
was
how to
confused
do this
too.
show?
Fucking
hey.
Carl Urban, that's why. Dude, first off, and this sucks. I should have at least read one Dredd comic or at least watched Judge Dredd.
I don't love the comics. I've tried.
However, I'll say Carl Urban, it's just he's such a how do I want to start? His fucking voice. Everything's so grungy and gritty.
He has
and
a
he is the
grimace.
fucking yeah.
The whole time a grimace.
Oh, it's wonderful. But like it's like when he says, like, you know, he's with his trainee who's a mutant, so she has psychic abilities. And he calls her Rookie because that's what she is. Instead of her name's Anderson, so he just calls her Rookie. But there's such a positive and negative connotation when he does it. He's always like Rookie, because you're always like, wait, are you mad at her, or is that like a little buddy thing you're doing?
Well, he's having to do so much work because half of his face is covered by that.
The first
fucking
time I
helmet
watch it, I'm
the
just sitting
whole
there going,
time.
wait, the dude from The Mummy too? Is that? I couldn't figure out if it was him.
And I
Wait,
can't-
Billy Zane?
Wait.
Is that who it
No,
is?
not Billy
You
Zane.
think Carl Urban was
Billy
Billy Zane?
No, he's in maybe it's Scorpion. He's in something else.
The Rock?
Carl
Did you think
Urban
it was
is
The
in
Wait,
something
what?
else, I'm pretty sure.
He's
At
in
least
Lord of the
Rings.
Rings. He's
Yeah,
in
I mean, I was like, hey, it's
The
Aylmer.
Boys. He's
So
in
guy
Thor.
The Boys.
He's in Thor Ragnarok.
And he's also in The Mummy too, probably, maybe.
Yeah, he plays Billy Zane.
the character Billy Zane.
That's right.
So no, there's a so in the opening, it's just his voice. He's like he's got a perp, and he's a guy, you know, the perp has a hostage, and they both have their guns drawn. And one of the cool things about the judge's guns is that they have different kind of bullets, within them or for the ammunition. So he's like, "Yeah, I heard you, hot shot." And the perp's like, "What?" He goes, "I said, hot shot." He shoots a flaming bullet into his head, and you're like, "Oh!"
And then his head melts.
Yeah. And his
I
head
made my
melts.
wife watch this movie with me.
So everything he does is just with that raspy voice.
And then the other thing is that he melts this guy's head, and then the woman that was the hostage doesn't freak out that a human being's head just melts.
she's
No,
like,
this is
tired.
Mega City 1,
She
dude.
just
This
goes,
is Slum City.
Thank you.
They say it goes from Boston
To
it
DC.
stretches from Boston to Washington D.C. You're like, Jesus.
They also say there's 800 million people in that area.
They said they can cover 6% of the calls. Like, what the fuck? They need more judges.
It's like all I'm saying is defund the police.
defund the judges. I hear you.
It's because I mean, I want you to
hang on.
continue, but
So I gotta say,
but at the same
Sam,
time,
make
they
your
need,
joke.
they need to spread the money around to like I don't know social services within this new mega city.
Yeah, like maybe if they had a mutant psychic like social service person to come out and help them, maybe
They could accomplish more. No, I will say no. They have really clean streets, except for that right after that where that guy gets his head fire exploded, because that little scrubber machine that drives by to clean it up, it really just scrubs the blood into the floor. Like, is that how they get the tile really clean?
No, that was definitely like
Like, shouldn't you suck up the blood first? It just drove straight next to the dead body. Like, they didn't have to chalk
like a
it or anything.
Zamboni.
Yeah, that's what it was.
It's just like a automatic wax machine. Like I don't like at your guys'.
Do you think it's like a Roomba? It didn't know it wasn't helping.
It's a Roomba that just like puts down a layer of cleaner and then it puts on a layer of wax and just kind of waxes over the.
That's
dirt.
why the floors are all red. But no, there's a couple other good lines, like when he's like, "I am the law, and as for you, mama, judgment time." Like, it's stuff where you're like, you shouldn't be saying shit like that, Dredd. You're not funny. Like,
it's
he
a
has
little
no
goofy.
sense of humor at all.
No,
but
but
yeah,
you kind of feel like he might.
if he ever took off that damn helmet,
You know,
you can't
what's-
see his eyes. I mean, he can smile, but I,
mean,
don't
look,
believe
this
it until I
is
see
the way.
the eyes.
You know what I mean? He can't take it off.
But I think what's really funny though is the Stallone one when he was cast as like Judge Dredd. Like fans of the comic were like, "Wow, Judge Dredd famously never takes off his helmet, and like you never see his face." And Stallone's just like, "Yeah, but people got to see my mug, right?"
Yeah, I kind of
He's-
assumed
his helmet
that's
off
what it was.
from minute one. He's just like, "I wear my helmet for about 40 seconds of the movie."
I mean, I don't want to. Yeah, I
No,
don't.
so-
that movie. I don't want to talk about.
No, hang on.
Moving into
Moving into that, I have to talk about this. So when I pulled up, I was going to look up IMDb, but when I first Googled this movie just to see like the cast that was in it, it comes up as like Rotten Tomatoes or whatever search it was, and I looked at the cast, and one of the pictures was Stallone. I'm like, oh shit, he must do a cameo somewhere.
That would have been fun.
So I was like, oh shit. I was like, I wonder who he is. So as I'm going through, I'm like, well, he's not anywhere. I don't see it. So I click on IMDb, and it turns out that was just wrong. Like someone put it in there incorrectly.
Wishful
and then
thinking.
I was thinking, if he was anyone, he's probably the drug slow mo. He's like, that's who you become when you take the slow mo drug. 'Cause everything slows down, so you talk real slow.
Yeah, he did everyone's voices when they were on
What
the
do you
drug.
mean I'm doing
right.
drugs and falling off a balcony?
all the guys who got thrown off the balcony, the screams were him.
Yeah. they CGI'd his face on each of them.
He's the one who went in,
But
he
with
went
his
in-
face cut off.
Like he went into the studio and did
Face off.
just did voiceover for all that.
Yeah.
So that's
He did like a day of work and got $78,000.
Like Vin Diesel in all of the Avengers.
Oh,
films.
so that's my opening argument is Billy Zane as Carl Urban.
That's a good argument. That's a good argument. Well, I don't have an argument like that, and I'll tell you why.
You don't have a Billy Zane argument?
No, and I'll tell you why. I don't know the names of any of the actors in The Raid Redemption. I don't know them.
It's because you had to translate them.
That's okay. I don't need to know them because the movie is so powerful on its own. The way that like Dredd has like the badass future technology and like the cool guns and the crazy drug, all that stuff, which admittedly is quite fun. The Raid has a maniac of feet and fists at the heart of it, and a love story between brothers and a pregnant wife that's almost like a MacGuffin, and like so many machetes.
Yeah, man. I guess it's a law that each each apartment has to have a machete like hidden somewhere.
Yeah.
If you live
because they got a hold of that machete army real fast.
The handles for the refrigerators that they install in those apartments are all machetes, so you can just pop it off and go.
I mean, yes. I mean, that one guy just had a casual, like how in a lot of like movies where there's like a drug bust or something like that, somebody has like a shotgun under the table.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
In this, he had a machete.
It was a machete under the table. It was so good. So here is the heart of my argument. The Raid Redemption is if the hallway hammer fight scene from Old Boy was a movie.
Yeah.
Like a whole movie.
Yeah.
It's just that.
It even opens up with the hammer too.
So good.
I'll tell you what.
does,
Why don't you talk about that scene? That was glorious.
Badass. And that was so. As I said, I made my wife watch Dredd with me.
Both of these movies, or just Dredd?
I initially was watching The Raid Redemption. I watched that one first, and she was going to watch it with me. It got to the scene where he killed the guy with the hammer, and she was like, nope.
I was about to say, I would
that's
put money on it says Kristen would not watch this
She would
movie.
not.
That's the opening.
Yeah, I was shocked that I think she...
Yeah, it's the first 5 minutes.
That's the opening.
She was intrigued for Dredd because she loves the boys and she loves Billy Butcher. So she was like, ooh, Billy Butcher's in this. I'll watch it. I was like, yeah. I mean,
Honestly,
cool.
that could have been a body double the whole time.
It could have.
They could have CGI'd his face under that guy,
Yeah,
like
that's right.
they CGI'd off Superman's mustache.
We
What are we even doing?
I mean, I
kinda
mentioned
forgot.
something about mutants. And
yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say
Yeah.
there are zero
Because-
tropes in these movies for Groundhog's Day.
because they
0%.
They don't. Do they fully explain how people become mutants, other than the fact that it's like from some Fallout?
No, I think that's
No.
supposed to be like
It's
part
just a
of the.
given.
That's like part of the Judge
it's-
Dredd lore.
He just
like,
says it's near future. He's just like,
Yeah.
nah, that probably happens. Whatever.
can't-
Because there's like
Yeah.
one slur. It's like no muties
It
on the
says, like,
wall, and
no
you're like, all
mutant.
right,
You're like,
yeah.
okay, cool.
that covers it. They don't like them.
they don't like him.
It's like a really glossed over X-Men.
And then, is Avon Barksdale also a mutant, or is he not?
No, he's not.
Okay.
He's not. I gotta check off my note about a maniac of feet and fists because I think I mentioned it.
Were you gonna forget
A
that you said
maniac
that
of-
so many times already?
Look, I need to check off my notes that
Okay.
I said
That guy's
them.
got really long arms, though.
He does, and he's short.
His arms
and when
are
I
so
told
long.
when I explained to Kristen later about the scene where he fights the two brothers, she was like, "Wait, that little guy was the maniac? Was the mad dog?" And I was like, "Yes,
Yeah.
it's badass."
Don't you know he's got long hair, so clearly he's
Yeah.
a lunatic.
Yeah, I will say for being a little scrawny guy, when he starts fighting, he looks ripped, man.
Yeah,
I think maybe
he's
it's the
fucking
wet
cool.
clothing, but he seems like he's just a hoss. Like he's a lot of tone,
Yeah. He's
like that of a chimpanzee.
Huh.
No, because they when you shave them, they're ripped.
I guess.
I've never seen a shaved.
Oh, you
Where are
haven't?
you
They're
looking
ju-
at
yeah, they're
pictures
just-
of shaved
they're just-
chimpanzees?
It's not like I looked it up. I just saw
I don't
it.
want
It's
to
not
see
like it
your
just happened.
Pornhub search
They're
history.
ripped. Listen, I know I hate
Look,
monkeys.
we're not here to kink
apes.
Chimpanzees.
Oh no, they're all disgusting to me.
Shaved.
Honestly, I'm
Say
just saying that they
search
are ripped
off.
when you shave them.
I'd love to chimpanzee that. That's what he said.
That's not what I said.
Uh-huh.
That's not even my voice. That's the
No, that was it.
whatever. Anyway,
Anyway.
I'm just saying the dude's a hoss.
So, little peek behind the curtain. Obviously, we are recording out of order, and this is the first one that we've recorded.
Why'd you
So
do
it's a
that?
little
We had
loose.
a nice lie going
Who
to the
cares?
audience.
No one's gonna believe it.
Yeah, but I was like, remember last week, like trying to pretend.
no, that was good. Let's do more
that
of
already
that.
happened. Oh, if we time loop, we could probably.
We could have
him.
it last week.
This is a time loop.
Oh shit!
I mean, this year's been a time.
You'd
loop.
still be a virgin.
I would still be a virgin. That is true.
Even after the episode, when me and you go back to the car, you'll still be a virgin.
I knew it. You brought the van, right? There's more room.
I brought my shaved chimpanzee too.
Look, leave him out of this.
Leave Lyle out
I really
of
do
it.
hate.
Lyle.
I really do hate monkeys, though. They're disgusting, and they're
Yeah.
too smart, and they rip off genitals. I hate
Some
it.
of them do.
I
Yes,
hate
they
it.
do.
God.
So I tried to make like just some regular notes about my movie, like what I would do for one of the
Me?
time loop movies that we did. So here's one of my notes early on in the raid.
Okay.
Who's Grandpa in the polo? Like I was like, why is he there?
Still don't get it.
Why is he there? I mean, I got it later, but it was like
I
this
didn't really
does
get
not
it
make
later.
sense that this dude is here.
Well, he's supposed to be like the commanding, like.
Yeah, but he was
Yeah,
wearing a
but
fucking
guy.
polo. He looked like he was on a golf trip and
Yeah,
stopped
it's-
by.
it's like he called this at the last second. Like he woke up, got dressed, and went, "Oh, we should raid that thing."
He's like,
today,"
"Oh,
and then
shit."
forgot to get dressed.
He's like, we need to do a raid redemption.
Yeah, he put on a vest over his golf attire.
See, I
Yeah.
thought it was more of a like. He was like the inside guy in that organization.
Yeah,
He
no,
was a
you're
cop,
right. That is what
Is
it
that
was.
what it's supposed to be?
Yeah, except that at
He
the
just
beginning
doesn't-
I was
But
like,
it's not like he
why
was-
is he dressed like that?
It's not like
that's
he
the
was
big thing.
undercover though. Like he can still be the inside guy and just not wear the right thing.
Yeah, wear like a tactical jacket or whatever.
Or
like,
if he was the inside guy, just not wear the vest and go in separately, not with the SWAT.
yeah.
His outfit did not.
His-
make
I mean,
sense.
Look, I'm here to talk about fashion
We
and
heard about
fashion alone.
in it, and that's all we want to talk about.
That's it. And that is why The Raid Redemption is the superior film.
Okay.
All right, well that's the show for this.
All right, and that's the show. I guess.
Are we
I
done?
guess
Are we
we're
done with that? With the openings?
Oh yeah, I was
Okay.
done with the opening a long time ago.
Oh, cool. Should we
How-
go on another tangent?
No, let's get into
I got
something.
stuff to say.
Let's get into
Yeah, I
more
bet.
points about Dredd.
Yeah, let's get
Okay.
into some Dredd points.
So the sweet poetic irony, which is the opening, you see how gruesome the Maw clan is, which we didn't introduce Maw. That is
Cersei
Lena.
Lannister.
yeah, like
Lena
well,
Headley,
I'm trying
but-
to remember her name. What is it? Lena
Lena
Headley.
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 Headley. I don't
So,
know.
so yeah, it's the cheating queen of 3 movies. Or no, I'm sorry. Game of Thrones, she cheats. 300, she cheats. There's another
Oh,
movie where she's a
300.
queen and
she's
she
like
cheats.
she's like forced to cheat in 300 though.
Well,
That's
it's
different, yeah.
still cheating.
I
300's a
guess.
good movie. I
It
like
is.
that movie, but like I feel like it's
Have you
the
watched
Joe
it
Rogan
recently?
of
I mean,
movies.
It
Yeah.
is. I tried to watch it again. I'm like, nope, not nearly as good.
I mean, is
Yeah.
every
Not enjoying it
Zack
as much.
Snyder movie the Joe Rogan of movies?
And what's with that fucking
I think
Snyder
watching
Cut?
it is
goat
great.
head man?
I don't know.
Oh gosh.
But
Yeah.
what's with Warner Brothers giving him $70 million more dollars?
Dude, I do not understand
to
why they
redo-
believe in him.
redo
Guys.
stuff on a movie that wasn't good. But we're
Guys.
not here to talk about that.
Poetic irony.
Thank God.
Poetic irony. And that when you first see the Maw clan, they capture 3 guys dealing on their turf. Like remember the big sky rise that the slum apartment they're in is like 200 stories. So they're on the 200th
Yeah.
floor, and the middle is open all the way
Yeah.
down. So they're like, what should we do with these 3 guys that are dealing on our turf? She goes, skin them and throw them over the balcony, like 200 floors. So yeah, not only did they skin them alive, but they hit them with the slow-mo before they fall, so it slows your time to
Before they fall.
1%. And yeah, nice. So it shows how vindictive they are. So not only are they torturing them, they're I should say
It's
super
more
tortured.
torture. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're alive, feeling that pain at 1% speed, falling,
And falling
watching-
to their death. So they show how cruel the Maw clan is. And then at the end, when Dredd finally gets her, he does the same thing. He sentences
to
her.
her.
He hits her with a slow mo, slams her through a window, through a
Yeah,
plate
it's a window,
glass,
yeah.
and then she falls 200
Yeah,
Yeah.
stories. So probably
So, yeah.
2,000 feet.
I did.
Right?
I did enjoy.
lot.
I did enjoy that. It was a full circle.
This was a very fun movie.
Yeah.
I really dug this. I saw it in the theater, and I.
But I won't
liked it a lot.
argue.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
did
a-
too.
it
I
is a
took
very fun
took
movie.
Ben from Lad.
Oh,
It
there
was
you go.
very
That's awesome.
gruesome. We saw it in the tiny theater that you hate so much.
Yeah, I do. So one thing I will say about Dredd is that like the cinematography is
That fucking
great,
slow-mo.
but some of the effects are really dated. Like not like the slow mo is
The
a fun
blood,
effect.
the blood spurts are,
The
are
blood
garbage.
spurts are bad.
Yeah.
And some of the CG of like the buildings flying through stuff. There was some very 2012 effects. For
Yeah,
sure.
but didn't you like the what is it like the glistening? Didn't you like the skin tone when like they blow through the door and they show the slow mo and you see the skin ripple?
yeah,
like
that
it-
was cool.
Yes.
That was cool.
You
But
mean
it
when they-
wasn't
like,
like
And
my
the
favorite.
water flick.
You know when they bust into like that room where they're like those people are doing slow mo
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he's just like possession of narcotics and just starts murdering people.
Yeah,
Well,
you know that's how police should
That's
be.
how you have to
That's-
handle it when you can only call 6%. You really got to get to 7. You
You
got to
kill
do it
them all.
some.
You
You got
gotta
to do
kill
it
as
some
many as
way.
you can.
Exactly.
It's the meat grinder, like it's called. Oh, by the
Stop
way,
it.
instead of paddy wagons, they call them meat wagons, and I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, well, that's just telling you that you don't
No,
give
no,
a
no.
fuck
I
about
don't-
your citizens.
Was the meat wagon for the criminals or was it for
the
like
meat wagon,
the injured people?
The meat wagon is both. It's
It's
for anything.
It's a
Oh.
catch-all.
Yeah, it is. They're like, put the dead, the wounded, and the perps in there. Fuck it.
It's an open top cart that they just throw people into.
Yeah, it's like a holy grail.
And also,
Bring out your dead.
everything's so high tech, but they're riding around like in that first chase scene.
The motorcycles.
Those vehicles are all from like the
That's
late
what I was about to
80s,
say.
early 90s.
I was about to say, well, is this distant future? So let's even call it 2050. That van is 60 years old.
That van is more. Yeah.
They did a lot of oil changes on that on that Dodge.
It was like
saying.
1980s retro future.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Where it was like
that's one of my notes is how old is that fucking minivan?
if it was 1980 and you were imagining what the future would look like, you would
Everything's
make
gonna
those
look like
cars.
everything's gonna look like Los Angeles. Essentially, is what it's
Yeah.
gonna look like.
Ugh.
Everything's gonna look like East LA in the
I'll
future.
say this, man. Like there are parts of Los Angeles that are like gorgeous, and then there are parts where you're like, ugh,
Yeah.
this is grim.
I mean, yes.
Hot take over here.
Hot take on LA. It's got good neighborhoods and bad neighborhoods.
Oh, I didn't mean about the neighborhoods. I just meant like there are some like stunning natural features. It's a beautiful place. That's all.
I don't know which direction to go because I'm turning my head too
One
much.
of them.
I want to target each of you equally, but I don't.
Then
Yeah.
you gotta go get Lyle, who's your assistant, that shaved chimpanzee.
I
you
would
have in
no.
your
I'm hoping he
van.
dies out there. That fucking gross ass thing. That's why I was trying to lure you out there.
Yeah.
Okay. So are you trying to lure me to the side door?
He's hoping to impregnate one and call it the chimpanzee. Get it?
Is that a
'Cause you're a man.
Is that a Soviet Union joke?
I don't know how it would be.
How they were trying to crossbreed at one point.
Were they really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Stalin and his shenanigans.
Stalin.
Emily George, Land of the Lost. I don't even care. Hang on, something popped up.
No, quit looking at my texts.
Yeah,
Don't,
who's
don't be
texting
pulling
you?
up Facebook.
It's not on Facebook. It's like
I
my
know.
fucking.
I said don't be pulling up Facebook. I saw it was a text.
Also, why is she texting you about the Land of the Lost?
Yeah, Land of the Lost.
No, Land of the Lost
The
is
TV show or the Will Ferrell
You turned
film?
off the Wi-Fi. Now they're
I
not
did.
going to be able to hear us.
Yeah, that's right. Land of the Lost is.
I'll turn on my
the is the group text I'm in with two of my sisters. That's what it's called.
And what do you guys discuss?
Do you guys talk about a time rift that took you back to the time of the dinosaurs or whatever that movie's about?
I've never seen that movie.
Well, there's a TV show as well.
Well, if you haven't seen the movie, have you seen the
I'm
TV
aware
Have
of
you,
the
seen the
TV
tel- have
show.
you seen the television show that was on around the same time as Dinosaurs, the TV show?
Something I'm intimately familiar
Yeah,
with.
something you. Oh, wait. What do you mean intimately familiar?
I
with?
have sex with
Oh, got it,
dinosaurs
got it, got it,
VHS
got it.
tapes. Look,
You're into the masks.
oh
The
God,
full body.
they're all so rotten now. Have you seen pictures? It's like I've seen ones of like the Ninja Turtle costumes, and they are spooky. Like how the way they rotted is.
Yeah, because now they're just lifeless.
Yeah, but it's like they look like a zombie turtle. It's kind of cool. So
Okay, we digress, but we gotta keep talking about Dredd.
yeah, let's you want to keep going on Dredd a little bit?
Yeah, she puts a knife to. Is that one of the Weasleys?
Yes,
That tech
Yeah.
guy.
Donald Gleason.
Okay. Yeah, she puts a knife to his belly button, and
that's
Sam, you're new
weird.
to this. I don't like
I don't-
people touching my belly button. I don't like people putting their
Who
fingers in my mouth either.
does?
I mean,
It's
nobody
so gross.
does.
No, okay. Well, I mean, then we're all on
Nobody
the,
likes
that's
that.
cool. We're on the same page. I love it. But no, I don't.
No, that was
an
very
uncomfortable
uncomfortable.
scene.
And not only because it's like the imagery, because her name's Mama, right?
Yeah.
Everyone calls her
Mama
Mama,
with a dash.
right? So like she's like going at the place where like his umbilical cord would have been, and it's like threatening.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you're like she's gonna reverse and put him back
Well,
in.
it's like the threatening
Yeah.
female energy is kind of one of the themes of this movie.
Yeah. For
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, because she bites off her old pimp's ding dong.
Now, let me ask you this: did either of you in Dredd get a kind of
Sexual vibe when she was fingering his belly button with a knife. Yeah,
no? That's not the end of that question.
I have nothing to do with my mother.
Did either of you feel a sort of Mad Max Fury Road to it all, where
Little bit.
like in Fury Road, Mad Max is not the main character. Furiosa is. Like it's her story really, and this is like Dredd shepherding
Yeah, Cassandra
younger
or Anderson.
Anderson. Yeah, and
Rookie.
I think it's kind of that theme that kind of foreshadows
I
the
guess.
Fury Road.
I-
I don't know. I
I
just thought
think
it was
she
guess
probably
it-
has the same amount of screen time. Well, close
I guess
to
it's just
close
not
to
as
it
much
because
about
the
her.
opening.
Because if it was more about her, they'd talk more about her like dead parents or something like that.
They do
they'll
talk about her
reference-
dead
They
parents.
reference it.
They reference it, but they don't. Like, I feel like she'd have more of an arc.
Well, they don't talk about Dredd's dead parents.
I think
'cause they're
she
not
has-
dead.
Because
They're alive, and they're
Dredd's
really
arc is
proud of
just
them
like,
too.
I killed.
She has more of an arc than Dredd, just the same way
True.
that like Mad Max doesn't really have an arc in it. He's just like there for the chaos, you know.
True.
And I
And
think
he, and
I
he
think
also
it's a
has more
similar.
screen time than Furiosa
Does he?
Yeah.
I don't know.
because he has the whole opening.
Oh, you're right. With that sweet CGI lizard that is dumb. Yeah, I haven't seen
you
that movie
just
in a long
settle
time.
down with CGI hate in
Yeah.
this
Why
episode?
do you hate CGI?
Well, no,
Everyone's
that-
gonna think that you don't like effects.
I mean, if you hate CGI animals, you're not.
you're not gonna like my van.
You're not gonna
I'll
like
tell you
Coming
that.
to America. At
Oh,
all.
jeez.
Coming to number 2.
Number 2, America. No, the reason I mentioned the
Are
bad
you trying
CGI.
to plug that movie tonight?
Guys, I'm in. No, guys,
no,
I wrote that movie. No, I'm
Guys,
not.
I had a dream about that movie.
no,
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 it's,
I
it's
wanna
out.
talk
It's out.
about it.
That was my spacer between.
that was the palate cleanser.
That was the palate cleanser.
I'm gonna watch it. No, but I mentioned bad CGI lizard because that was intentional in Mad Max, as like George Miller's like fuck you to CGI because he did so much of that like stuff practically, and that was his kind of like they wanted me to do this like shitty 3D big CGI thing, and I'm gonna do this old school, and it's a badass movie.
Mediocre.
Yeah, that's right.
And we're done. That's it. That's all I had.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's all my gas.
your go juice?
Well, if I had some Coke, some Coca-Cola.
With ice.
They're warm.
No, not when you had the ice.
No, I have warm
Zach, you
ice.
telling me ice isn't cold? This guy's telling me ice isn't
I
cold.
mean,
Sam.
ice must be hot for this guy's.
Tell
I'm
you what,
here-
This guy's got his channels mixed, right?
That's right. He's got those wires crossed.
Yeah.
This guy's been doing too much slow mo.
Whoa,
Oh.
well, guys.
Or whatever drug they cook in the raid.
What I don't understand
Yeah,
about
I
that
assumed it
part
was like
too
meth.
is that they say like, oh, what do you think of this rookie with their teeth are gone, like from the perps, and she's like, oh, I don't know. He's like, oh, it's slow mo because they're using slow mo, but they said it's brand
It's
new,
new.
and Mama's been doing it the whole time, and she still has her teeth.
But he's well.
Riddle
teeth
me
are-
that,
Her teeth are kind of.
Batman.
Her teeth are kind of gross.
They have, like,
looking.
black
They're
shit
gross,
on
but they're
them.
still there. Like the other guys are gone.
Yeah.
Well, just because she does it doesn't mean she like does it to
Maybe
excess.
she's got some George Washington, some wooden dentals
She's got some wooden chompers in there.
that are still
From-
gross. They
from-
made them gross so they
from what
everyone knows
I've
she's still
heard,
slow moing.
His teeth were less likely actually wood and more likely
Ivory.
made from like slaves' teeth. Anywho,
Oh, I heard that. Yeah.
yeah, that's awful. So all our founding fathers are monsters. That's
Yeah,
it's fine.
Well, your fathers. Speak for
I
yourself.
only have the
Wires
one.
crossed. Am
I
I
only
right?
have the one.
You do slow mo.
So
Which, by the way, slow mo just looks like a
It's an inhaler. That's all it is. It's an
looks like a
inhaler with
treatment for-
Coca-Cola in it.
Yeah,
That's what it looks like.
It looks like a treatment for like asthma. It's
I
like
thought it was like an inhaler with a
And
filthy
also-
bong on
Yeah,
top.
when they hit it, there's plenty left. Like,
There's
do you get multiple
loads.
hits out of that?
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, because like they take the hit and then like there's so much just kind of coming out of their mouth.
Yeah.
They're like,
yeah,
it's like we
it's
get
a,
it,
It's a
you
white
vape.
dragon.
yeah.
What?
Do you,
What?
it's when you don't know what a white dragon is.
No.
It's when a man ejaculates and then
Oh.
uppercuts.
Oh,
Oh,
I
boy.
don't
What a
like
white
this
dragon.
at all.
I'm just saying, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
I don't know why you do it. I
I'm
wouldn't
not a
do
fan
it.
of this show anymore.
Just saying.
Well, that's it for me, guys. Sam's taking over for me. He's the new host.
All right, Sam.
Okay, yeah.
So what should we call this new show?
I mean, we
I'm
just
going
call
with
it-
White Dragon.
White Dragon seems to be the way to go.
Do you want to talk about your movie, Zach?
I can, if you like. I thought Sam could ask us some questions.
Oh, I thought I was. Did you say anything after I was talking about
I've said
stuff?
lots of things.
Okay.
I've
Lost
hang
track
on.
of this show.
Let me
With-
mark off my notes.
Without comparing to
here.
Groundhog Day, I don't know what we're doing anymore.
Right. I am adrift without time loop and tropes and, second day uncertainty.
I mean,
look, it's tough.
Dick,
It's tough out here.
I think the raid has more tropes in it than Dredd does.
I think it does too. But the raid lives in that world of the martial arts kind of exploitation film almost. So one of the things that I really loved about the raid was all of the hand-to-hand combat. There's they have guns and there's a lot of really cool shit where the guys in the building are sniping them, and they have like a really cool like coordinated effort, and I think that works really well. But I think the coolest thing about it, and we joked about it, is like everybody basically runs out of fucking ammo like real quick, and then they have to fist fight or have machetes or like.
Everyone's
Which is
very
super
well trained
badass.
in martial arts. It doesn't do
Yeah.
good for the stereotype.
It's funny though because I mean they're Indonesian. It's not I don't know, but
Yeah,
like
okay,
I don't know that there's
sure.
like a huge stereotype there. But like the thing of it is like the movie opens with this dude, our main character, like training in the morning, and he's beating up this punching bag, and you're like,
Yeah.
this dude's a badass. But then he goes and fights all these criminals who are like not on his level, but like close enough that it's like, well, maybe he's not that badass. I don't know.
Well, that and it's they almost don't beat the guy who's a maniac with his fists and
Feet.
feet.
Feeteth.
The mad dog almost wins.
That's how badass he is.
He's the
I mean,
most-
he kind of, yeah.
they get
He's
lucky.
he's fighting.
Yeah, they
too.
do get lucky. But he's so cocky. Like when he takes that other cop into the room and like puts the gun down and is like, "We'll do it this way." Like that's like, dude, come on. You're just like that's hubris. You're gonna get killed that way. And he does the same when he's like, "I'll take on both these brothers that are incredible badasses."
Yeah, but it's an accomplishment. It probably gets an adrenaline rush.
Yeah, except
from
one
it.
of the brothers
Yeah.
got fucked because he's got a knife through his hand.
Well, he had.
He had
Past
a knife
tense.
through his hand.
So quit
Yeah.
living in the past.
and then,
like,
and
get
then
over
the mad
it.
dog
You had a
was-
knife in your hand.
had him strung up and was just
Yeah.
kicking
Yeah, he
him to
was
death.
beating the shit out of him. He recovered. If you punched me 5 times, I'd be like, all right, I'm just gonna call it.
You punched me once, I'd be like, you know what? I'm good. I'm good. I don't want to play.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
was
go
thinking
home.
like I've heard that I've heard that I was on Talk is Jericho. He said when you break your ribs, he goes, that's it. Like you're just done. Like there's no way you're getting
There's
back
no like,
up.
oh, I'm sick. Anything. And those guys' hands had to have been like
Oh yeah, pulp.
broken, done.
Ugh.
No, that's why they trained so
they
much
trained. That's why he woke up and prayed, and then trained,
and
then
beat the shit out of that
and then,
bag
then said,
Yeah.
then like I don't know,
that his
kind
brother
of,
was
kind
in.
of talked to his wife.
Yeah, and she's like, "You were supposed to wake me up." Why am I doing the voice of
I
the
don't
woman
know.
from Pulp
I don't,
Fiction?
I don't know.
It's that
You're
woman
supposed
from.
to, you're
Blueberry
supposed to wake me up. And they talk about
Who's
I don't know, and then
You're not supposed to punch me in my pot.
I mean I think it's interesting in the movie how they're like you have to care about this guy because guess what, his wife is pregnant.
Yeah, that was a little heavy-handed, and that's why I said like the wife was a MacGuffin. It really was like they
Hey,
were
he
really
wasn't-
trying to sell
he
the
wasn't
emotional connection to
heavy-handed.
him.
Nothing.
What?
Nothing. Because
I
he
think
was
he kinda
had
was.
Fast, he had fast
super
fists.
fast. I think he was heavy-handed because
Yeah.
he was knocking people
He
out.
wasn't. I wouldn't call him
But
a
you couldn't move
maniac
fast
of
with a
feet
heavy
and
hand.
fist, but I would call him
He
like
had
a
feather hands.
I'd call him like a surgeon of feet. Like he's not a maniac. He's like a what's someone who takes
hang
a lot
on,
of
so
thought
he
into what they
has-
do.
At one point, he gets that guy's gun, and there's only one bullet in it. But then he's like, "Oh, one bullet," and throws the gun. I'd still hold on to that
You
gun
still
for a
shoot
second.
someone. One bullet, you
yeah.
still shoot
Yeah.
somebody.
Yeah, like yourself when you're just tired.
Well, sure.
Or if you're Sam, if
You're
someone
just
punched you in the ribs
tired.
once,
Boom.
you just say, fuck this.
He's like, well, that's it for me.
That's
But they're
right.
not broken. Nope.
I'm out.
Then he shoots himself in
So
the
I
rib.
just
Time to go
imagine
back
you at
into
a
the karmic
Whole-
wheel.
At a Whole Foods, someone kind of accidentally touches your cart, and you're like, "Fuck this!" Like,
Yeah, we got to really
So
like
pretty
make
rowdy.
sure
I don't
that
know,
Sam
I've
doesn't
never-
go through with those
I mean,
concealed carry classes.
I have never I've never like been in a fight. Like I was on the
Same.
wrestling team.
oh, really?
I did a little bit.
Both of you?
I've
Yeah,
never.
I'm a
I mean,
pansy.
Oh, okay.
I have never. I mean, I've been in situations where it could have gone into a fight, but every
yeah.
time I'm like, "What the fuck is this?"
You
I
guys
wanna-
don't talk enough shit.
No, I think we talked the right amount of shit.
You don't say what's on your mind about Superman.
clearly,
Oh boy.
because all of your fights have been about Superman.
Yeah. Most.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, that's always what it is.
We almost got into
I
a
walk
fight.
into convention just to start running my mouth.
We almost got into a fight recently when he said he should have kept that mullet in the 90s.
First off, why
What a-
did that
what a
happen?
mistake.
Why did that happen?
Because he died.
So?
When you die, your hair keeps growing except in the
Except in the front.
Because he wanted to look like Goliath from Gargoyles.
I mean, come on, guys.
Look, we watched Gargoyles on Disney Plus
Who
when we first
didn't
got
watch
it.
Gargoyles.
I didn't. I never watched that show. I thought it was stupid.
So I kept
Oh.
telling my wife about. I just kept going on about how badass mullets look in cartoons compared to real life. I was like,
they
man, in a
do.
cartoon, mullets look fucking cool.
Yeah, yeah.
I get why someone would get one.
Yeah, remember when I was gonna grow a mullet and you're like, oh yeah, they're actually really in, and I'm like, oh, never mind. I'm like, then it's stupid.
I was like, yeah, it's like a fashion thing now. And you're
Yeah,
like,
it
oh.
sucked. It was like a decade ago. Are they still in?
Yeah,
Or can I
they
get
are.
one now?
They are still
Sure.
in.
Fuck. Is he just lying to me? He's been lying to me for 10 years, so I don't get one.
Zach has
been
his
longer than
fingers
that.
on the pulse.
Yeah.
He'll finger anything with a
He'll
pulse.
figure anything. That's true. That's why we got to keep Lyle locked up in the van.
Wow.
Fucking Lyle.
This turned on me quick.
Why Lyle? I gotta stop and go back.
Why
Now that you've said it 3
Lyle?
times.
That's what
Why
his
the-
mother named
Who
him.
the fuck names anyone Lyle?
I don't know. It's just the first thing that came. Maybe it's because the chimpanzee looks like Lyle.
Lyle looks like a Lyle. Okay.
He's got a Lyle
Let's go.
face.
Should I go back to my final?
I'd say
my final.
in both of these movies, they make it like. So from what I'd heard, and I saw Dredd. Like I said, I saw Dredd in the theater. It's been a while since I'd seen
Brag.
it. Yeah, I go to theaters because I don't care about the novel coronavirus.
That's right.
But
Oh, and let's
so
not do this.
That's why you're moving to
not do
Texas.
this.
that's right.
We're
They call
allowed to
me
believe
Ted
whatever we
Cruz.
want. If we don't want to believe in Corona or satellites or a round planet,
You think
we
time
can do
isn't
whatever
real?
we want.
Look, no.
I don't believe in time.
So what? So from what I had heard,
We're all the same age.
is that,
Zach. Me and you,
we're not.
all of the two of us.
But from what I had heard of the raid was like, oh, it's Dredd is really similar to that because it's like they're trying to like fight their way up the building. And in both movies, they move up pretty easily and pretty quickly. You know, it's not like
How big,
I don't know.
Well,
How
in the
big- how
raid,
many-
once they
how tall is
decide
the
to do
raid?
it, they do.
yeah.
I mean, the raid's only like, I think, 7 levels.
I don't think
No,
it's
it's more
that
than
small.
7 or
it's more
8.
than
Because they
that.
make it up to 5 pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's taller than 7.
I
Yeah.
thought it was like 8 levels.
No, because when they're like lining up to go in, they do that tilt up with the camera and it goes way up.
Goes
I think
way
it's
up.
like 30-story
I
building.
think they
like,
do
it's big.
say what floor the villain's on, but
Yeah.
now I'm just blanking on it. But yeah, I believe it's more than 7.
More
or
than
8.
that. I mean, I just remember there's a lot of like jumping up. the
That was
different
badass.
levels, or that guy that gets thrown off and then lands on his like
Oh,
back.
I will say there was a couple times when they were climbing, like you said, climbing up.
Yeah.
That I'm like,
Yeah.
why didn't they just kick him? Like the guy would run up the steps and they would meet at the same time at the top
because
Why
they have
didn't he-
honor.
Why didn't he? Why didn't he? No, they're Indonesian. So why didn't they kick them
what?
over the edge?
I don't get that.
I got it though.
No,
So because it's my comment. So why didn't they kick him over? Like he sees him, he's like, oh fuck, and then turns around. I'm like, just kick him over the edge. They were
Like-
still climbing up at that point.
to me, it almost felt like
That'd been a sweet roundhouse.
it almost
baby.
felt like Dredd and like Gareth Evans, or saw like what Gareth Evans did, and they're like, oh, in the raid they have that big open square in the middle of the building that they climb up. Let's do that, but way bigger. Like let's just make it way bigger. Which it was like, oh, you can't do some of the cool stuff that they did, but like it still is cool. Like it works.
I mean, it looks cool, and then it gives them that opportunity to have little shops down at the bottom.
Yeah, which I like.
There's a shop called like Tools and Glass. It was just that was
There was some
the
fun
comment.
names I didn't think we had
What?
time for. And then in the early one, the first one Dredd goes into, there was a good name that it was like a weed reference. But I wish I would have wrote it down. It was something stupid.
Ugh.
God, I wish I would have wrote it down.
Yeah. All right, you go next. Let's see what you got.
Oh, okay. God, the Gatling gun scene. When they lock him into the one level and they set up 3 insane Gatling guns and
That was
just
so badass.
mow down the fucking
whole
whole
level.
They
hallway.
just kill everybody in the
Yeah,
hallway.
it's a good like it's. I don't even want to say that. How long does it last? Like 4 minutes of just
It's long.
straight
Solid
firing,
couple
and it
minutes
looks
of
like
that.
laser
Strafing.
beams.
Yeah.
But anyway, one thing that I'll
I
say,
thought it might have been lasers until that slow-mo shot where they cut to the shells flying out, and I was like, okay, they're bullets.
Yeah.
They just look like lasers.
Yeah, what after they're like concentrate fire, after they just mow the whole thing down trying to kill Dredd. One thing I really liked is how long the dust prevailed, because I'm like, if you ever worked in concrete and knocked it over, you're like,
did,
oh, that
sir.
shit lasts fucking forever. That's why
Yeah.
we were watching it. I'm just like, good for them. Good for them.
They got
Really
the
stuck
concrete
by
right.
the science.
Good for them.
But yeah. So anyway, after it's mowed down and they're like they send in the Mama clan to try and find
the goatee
try and find-
villain guy
try
who
and
wears
find
like the long leather
try and find the
jacket.
bodies. Like
Yeah.
you just see something in the dust. Once again, this dust is still there, and you just see a body shadow coming through. and it's Dredd, and he has the guy alive, and he just walks up to the edge, throws the bad guy over, and then just turns around and walks away like a badass back into the dust. And the whole time I'm thinking I would cough a little bit though, like how much better would that be if he's like, because it's like epic music and he like, throws him over and he turns around, he's like, like
he's got a tickle in his throat and he's trying to get rid of it.
Yeah, he must do that so much. That's why he has that that rough.
He's got that respirator
voice.
though.
A piece of me wanted him to come back on a skateboard because he breaks out of that area where there's like a half pipe.
That would have been
the outside area where everyone's skating.
That gets trapped outside when they close the blast doors, whose parents now are probably all
So you wanted
dead.
him to come in and do a full Michelangelo surfs up and throw the guy.
I thought of it more as like the Batman and Robin, like when Robin surfs up.
Yeah.
Please don't.
Or he puts the guy on a skateboard and just like flings him out.
That would have been good.
So the last part, it's an up and a down for me, and that's the guns. So
those guns are badass.
The bad guy, and I'm blanking on his name.
Which one? Avon Barksdale?
K.
Avon,
Harris.
Avon Barksdale.
Avon Barksdale. Okay.
So Kay has the gun against Anderson's head, and he goes, "Any last words?" And she taunts him. She goes, "Something, something, you bitch."
She says, "That's what I was gonna say to you."
Yeah, he had any last words, bitch, and he goes, "That's what I say to you, bitch." So he pulls the trigger, and then you see on the thing it says, ID failure, and then it blows off his hand. So the gun explodes because it's her gun because it's got the ID check on it, which is awesome. Because once again, the first time I watched it, didn't see that coming.
Yep.
Yeah.
So fantastic, and I'm like, that's a good feature.
Interesting you didn't notice that because like at the beginning when like Dredd is suiting up, he grabs that gun and it says like DNA match.
I didn't. I didn't. But the problem I have with it is that they all wear padded gloves. How the fuck does that make any sense?
I'm sure they have a chip, like in Futurama. They have their career chip.
Yeah, but this is DNA. How do you get the DNA through the padded glove?
I don't know, man. Some future thing. Maybe there's
future thing. That's cool.
Maybe it's like in like Gattaca.
I don't know. I'm not even being patronizing. I really believe because I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, it's just you got ID gloves. Whatever.
What about that? The explosion does not hurt Olivia Thurby.
No, I think it's projectile.
Yeah.
I feel like it probably shoots backwards or something.
That makes
towards the
maybe.
user.
Yeah. I
Or
maybe
future stuff.
Maybe it's just out future stuff. Maybe it's like where the palm goes in, and it just blows out that portion because only his hand blew. It wasn't like it blew him up.
It went up his arm pretty far.
No, it wasn't that far.
It was like 8 or 9
It
inches
went
up
to where you would stop a 3/4 sleeve.
Like here.
Yeah.
Where you would stop a 3/4 sleeve.
It was like a clean Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker.
It was not at all. It was pretty.
It went up his arm.
Well, no, it was gruesome.
Pretty
but that's like the area.
Yeah.
It was a gruesome area. Is that what you're trying to say?
This guy's got gruesome arms.
I'll
tell you.
This guy's got gruesome.
Listen, as a fucking judge,
and I'm just gonna say,
Judge Fisher,
yeah,
you need to get your facts right.
Okay.
And I didn't mean judge of this podcast. I meant judge as in, where's your helmet?
As in, you are the law,
rookie.
Is it interfering with
interferes with my psychic abilities?
With my psychic hair,
which are only really used to like. I guess know when people are coming around a corner, and when she has that weird.
Hang on.
That sex fantasy with Avon
What is
Barksdale?
with the thing? She's like, oh, I'm kind of like a Magneto thing. I can't read your mind if I'm wearing a helmet, but she can read people who are wearing helmets' minds.
Yeah.
Yeah, she reads.
Because she did read those.
She does it in the beginning with Dredd.
Yeah.
And with a woman at the end.
Because I
you're
guess
like,
it doesn't affect it. It's about her receiving the.
It's sonar. Yeah.
Thing.
Because if it's the sonar's contained in her helmet.
Okay, I have a question.
Guys, I've got an explanation. Future stuff.
I've got a question about the helmets. So you know when like the bad
you can wear
judges,
them or not.
The bad judges come in.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
I had issues with that because they all look they all had similar builds.
They all looked a lot like Dredd.
No, they didn't. No, he was like muscular tone, lanky.
So were two of the other ones.
The black guy was taller and he was more.
No, that's
beefy.
a different guy.
I mean,
that's the first two that showed up that were actual real backup. And
no.
Those
two were the similar head. I'm talking about the one with the shotgun. He was taller.
Yeah. No,
you're right.
He was different, but then there were two guys who looked.
The two white guys, they were
looked a lot like
Dredd. It's like they have the same outfit and they have the same facial expression.
What?
Except for the one guy smiled more.
Because he was the main bad guy.
So he was gonna get a million credits.
When Dredd hit,
which doesn't seem
when
like
Dredd
much.
hit the first one in the throat with the gun. At some point, you're like, are you gonna kill him? Or you're just gonna let him go, huh? I know, obviously he was gonna die, but you're like, you're gonna finish him off? Like, that's pretty cruel.
Gotta save
He
that
bends his
ammo.
head back like he was gonna spit down his throat and just pelted him in the Adam's apple. And you're like, you could see the butt of the gun, and you're like, oh. Well,
This
that's
is
terrible.
dark.
Then he walks off, and he stumbles for a while before the other two find him, and you're like, God, Dredd, man. That's not really justice, bro.
I mean, I would argue that not much of what Dredd does
Yeah.
is
No.
justice.
No, I will retort.
Some
he
is.
stuns the two kids when he says, I don't care if you
Yes.
do Juvo cubes or whatever it is.
Juve cubes.
Juve cubes or
which is what
he
they
says
call-
Juve cubes or Juve cubes or body bags. He says doesn't make a difference to me, and then he says stun real fast and stuns him instead of killing him.
Yeah.
So he does care, Fisher.
He doesn't want to
That's
kill
right.
the children.
He cares about
and as a
children.
judge, you should know this.
Would you
If
put
you
it on
lose your
stun if you were
weapon or
shooting
make that
kids?
mistake again, you will not
It's
pass.
out. I'm not going to pass. Pass or fail.
Also,
failing offense.
yeah, Dredd's a hypocrite because he's like, I'll make this one exception, but like that's the whole
What's
thing about Dredd is you don't make exceptions.
Oh,
Yeah,
because he's got a
and-
big old crush on Anderson, clearly.
I would
Yeah,
too.
and
She's
he-
very attractive. She's got that mole right at the top of her lip.
She
It's-
kind of has
it's-
a
it's
Rachel
like
McAdams vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
Sure,
good.
that's fine,
That's a
yeah.
good thing.
I was trying to think of anyone newer than Cindy Crawford
Oh,
for
with
the
the
mole thing.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't got one.
No one
She's
does.
gorgeous though.
I like how you said anyone newer, not like younger.
Yeah, the newer model
Newer.
of Cindy Crawford.
Well, there you go.
Get it? Because she's a model.
Yo!
Let's get
I'm a
that
joker.
laugh track
I
out
like,
again.
I like to make people
This
laugh.
guy's got jokes.
I had one. I used it.
That was it. That was the one.
I blew
let me ask
my
you guys
joke
a,
load.
let me ask you guys a question.
Go ahead.
If you were fighting the Mad Dog,
Yeah.
wouldn't you just
Bring a
like
gun.
Shoot him?
repeatedly go for his crotch over and over? He's making
He's got those
big
baggy
kicks.
pants you'd never
Wouldn't
find
you
it.
just go for his crotch? I feel like that's the most effective way to
he's
take him
basically
out.
wearing parachute pants.
I feel like
think it was MC
the
Hammer.
issue with him is like, are you fast enough to actually hit the Mad Dog? I don't think I am.
You know what? I'm
No, but
gonna
those
call
two
Hollywood
were-
bullshit on this. Those guys go through a beating, and no one it's even the strikes you'd say like, oh, they're not making full contact. They are.
Yeah.
They are beating the hell out of each other, and no one's ever winded or hurt. Well, besides the leading officer who gets his neck
Yeah.
broke.
Oof,
By the way,
that's a tough
kudos
scene
to
watch.
Mad Dog, dude.
That scene
he
was
earned
tough,
that. He
man.
earned that
I mean,
fight.
this raid is full of tough
didn't think he
scenes,
was gonna
but it's-
win.
You didn't think Mad Dog was
I didn't
gonna
think
win
Mad
that
Dog was
fight?
going to win that.
Oh,
He beat him pretty
clearly
easy.
he's gonna.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
I mean, that proved to how
How
Yeah.
mad
scary
the
he
dog was?
Yeah.
He's an angry pup.
I get it.
That Mad Dog.
No, but you know, no one's gonna get this except you. I don't know why Mad Dog made me think of Larry Bartlett. I have no
stop
idea why.
Stop it.
I don't need to talk about it anymore.
No. Move on.
Okay.
Move
He's
on.
actually
what you
out in
really-
the van with Lyle,
With
the
Lyle.
the chimpanzee.
You don't need to call him a chimpanzee. We know who he is.
I mean, I just
everyone
wanna-
knows.
That
who
is
he
his
I'm
last
just gonna
name.
Lyle the chimpanzee. is
We
his
got
last name.
a new show coming out and everything.
That's right. We're making a sequel to that Clint Eastwood movie,
I never saw it.
Fast and Loose or whatever. it's
Grand
called.
Dirty
Torino?
Harry and the Monkey Man.
No, he goes around with an orangutan and he fights people.
Oh, Every Which Way But Loose.
Yeah,
is that
that
what
one.
it is?
There is a sequel. It's called Every Which Way You Can.
Oh boy.
I wish I didn't know that. I've never seen it, but I just know it exists.
There we go. I've got the next
How do you
episode.
feel about chimpanzees and clothes?
You know, I was a
it's
big
fine.
fan of the movie Dunstan Checks In when I was
You
a child.
would, isn't Jason Alexander in that?
I don't know, but I liked it when I was 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
I never saw it.
I recall picking it out at it wasn't a Blockbuster because it was like,
Hollywood Video?
no, it was an independent.
Did you just want to say
store.
Hollywood Video?
No, it was just.
You could have said Blockbuster.
He said it wasn't Blockbuster, so I named
know.
another one.
I don't know, it was on Springfield Pike. I don't remember what it was called.
Sure. So I'm just gonna breeze through a couple notes I had on Dredd. I think like the rookie assessment is a really fun plot device, like a good framing device to make that. Because like Mad Max Fury Road, which is weird that like in this conversation I've like gravitated so hard to that movie, but I think there is like a really great like comparison to it, structurally, if anything. But like, I think it's cool because, like, you could see Dredd on, like, some crazy mission, but what this isn't a crazy mission. It's his everyday life that he does, and he happens to have this rookie assessment with him, and that's the audience's way in, which is, I think, a really cool way to do it.
Yeah, he still stays with the train even when he's shot.
Yeah.
And he's like, Wendy's like, all right, here's a field dressing. Here's how you do it.
Yeah, and when
He's
they
still
take
instructing.
and when they take always
And good
ever the
for him.
teacher.
Good teacher.
Great teacher.
Professor Dredd.
He's teaching with actions, not just with words.
Oh yeah.
Mainly actions. Mainly actions.
I also really liked the dirty judges as like a twist towards the end. I thought that was really a really fun
Yeah,
twist.
but when she's like, when they're like, what are we gonna do? She's like, call 911. Do you think she just hoped that they would send dirty cops, or do you think there was an extension for like?
No, I think that was like her code for it. I think that
must
was
have
like
had
her
it.
joke
I mean,
or whatever.
Once again, how do you find out the judges are dirty? Like, how would that
Well, they
happen?
buy them off. Like they
No, I know, but how do you find the one, like,
you just get someone to make an attempt. I don't know. That's
how do you send out feelers for a dirty judge? It feels like just going up saying, hey, are you dirty judge? You'd be like, 5 years, ISO cube.
asking a judge a question. 5 years ISO.
Yeah,
I
like,
didn't-
a
and
lot of their
also-
punishments are severe to the point where I would not talk
Very
to a
severe.
judge.
Like if a judge came and talked to me, like I'd like a lawyer, please.
Right.
I don't. They're like, I am the lawyer.
I am
5
your
years
lawyer.
ISO cube.
We'll take the plea.
Yeah, the
Oh,
judges
shit.
are also actually that's the underfunded side of it is the public defender.
Yeah, they did not. Dredd did not do well in law school.
Wait. So does every public official have to wear the helmet?
That's
Like,
right.
are you
Yeah,
in a
that's
suit
right.
with the helmet?
But they've got theirs is blue instead of the red. You know, they've got the red crosshairs on the judges, so the blue is.
Wait.
on the,
So if there's a court date and then the judge doesn't show,
well, the issue is
Hang on,
that
hang on.
the issue is that the
I'm
defender.
confusing myself.
The defenders go around in a paddy wagon instead of a meat wagon, and they jump out of it when they need to.
Sure.
So
Oh, guys.
hang on. So if the judge, if the lawyer doesn't show up, who's a judge? To put the case against you, does your defense attorney, who's a judge, then act as it? And then the judge, who's him,
Yeah.
wait, what the fuck kind of
I know.
system is
Isn't
this?
Mega City has a really fucked up legal system. It needs
Look,
to be
I am the law.
reformed.
That's all I have to say here.
Wait, what am I saying for a courtroom? There is no courtroom.
There's
It's
no
just
courtroom.
right then and there.
Yeah.
But
No
since,
courtroom.
Just
but
a
since
gun.
you've never seen
He's
the original, since you've never seen the Stallone one, you got to watch it because there's a great courtroom scene.
That's all I know.
Law. Yeah, it's great. It's so much fun. Did you guys notice, like, one thing that I definitely saw between the two movies was, like, the setups was so wildly different to, like, a certain point, and then it's like, same movie. Oh, it's just cops fighting their way up a building. Like, it was like the rookie assessment, the pregnant wife, there was so much different backstory to it, and that actually brings me to one of my arguments for the Raid is it has this like really complex family drama to it that, like, you know, Dredd would never think about getting close to that. There's this like depth to the story that Dredd just doesn't have, even with the backstory of Anderson and her perspective and all that stuff. It just doesn't come close to that.
Well, they don't pay it off as much with Anderson. She just kind of looks at the
Yeah.
picture of her parents a couple times, and that's supposed
Yeah.
to be
Hollywood,
her
right?
character. But at the same time, the Raid doesn't, like, the brothers thing is just like we just find out they're brothers, and then there's some rift, and then they don't
But there is a sequel.
really mention. I haven't seen this.
I haven't either. That's
Well,
the thing.
you haven't
There is
seen
a
the sequel in the first one, so yeah.
Which
No,
by the
no,
way,
I know, but
The Raid Redemption sounds like a
It
sequel.
It
really
sounds like it
does.
is. I thought it was. Yeah, I thought it was.
you
the
know what the
second
sequel's called? It's called The Raid 2. That's it.
one. It's good. It's good.
Not TOO.
I could see.
Number 2.
But yeah, they're just they don't really go
I thought it
into
was
enough
like
about the
two.
brother. The
Yeah.
only thing about the brothers is they're like, you need to get out of here because you're about to be, an uncle. And he's like, nah. That's it. Then they fight a little bit.
He's like, nah, I'm good.
No,
And
because he
also, why
betrays
did
his boss.
That brother, the bad brother, was kind of a dummy.
He was.
Like, he goes up and gets stabbed by the knife. He goes, I saw you on the camera. You're like, wait, you didn't know that he had fucking cameras
Cameras? Yeah.
everywhere when you're in the camera room all day?
All you're doing is hanging out in the camera room, getting rid of bodies on nice plastic.
That you saw on the
whatever.
cameras.
Yeah, but like, why'd they did they just put the plastic down so they could roll them up in it? Because like they weren't keeping that fucking room clean. It was filthy.
Why would you need to?
But that's the point.
No one
That's
comes
what
in
I'm
there.
saying.
Because if that's your office, wouldn't you want your office not to be like all bloody?
No, you just
But
get
it's
one of those
filthy already.
scrubber
Oh,
things
you know
that
what's-
spreads the blood everywhere. The automatic Zamboni.
Yeah, massage that blood
I
into
guess
the
I mean
floor.
there is that.
Oh,
scene,
but how would you get it up there?
There, I mean, there is
Yeah,
that
that's the
scene when
catch.
the pro golfer shoots that other cop after they get to the top. of
the
main
pro
bad guy.
golfer.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, that
And
pro
then that
golfer
guy-
is a dead shot, man.
Yeah.
He hits that kid like nothing.
he was
through the
close.
door.
Look, he's on the senior
one
tour.
shot.
Oh, the other. I mean, what I'm talking about when he shoots.
That
the
was a
other cop
hole
after
in
he
one, right?
After he handcuffs
When
the
he
bad
murders
guy,
a
That was
child.
badass.
and then the bad guy licks the blood off his face,
Yeah, that was.
which was scary.
Yeah, he went
Yeah.
full. He
It was
went
like,
full bad
woof.
guy.
Oof.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: if you're gonna kill kids,
I mean, who's scarier?
that was the golfer that killed the kid, though.
Who's scarier though? Is Mama scarier than
Mama.
Mama?
Stop it.
Is Mama scarier with her belly button thing, or is the bad guy
Yes.
from the raid?
The bad guy from the raid is because he does so much more stuff himself. Like she does a little bit, but dude, you see it right off the bat when he shoots those guys. That scene when they're all lined up at the very beginning, they're all lined up. He's shooting them, runs out of bullets, sets the gun on the guy's shoulder,
It's good.
opens the drawer with bullets in it, and gets the hammer instead. Like
Nope. I'm gonna contest. So Mama does the belly button tickle with a knife. She has the guy skinned in slow mo.
She also
so
had that
she
guy's
has them done.
eyes ripped out.
She has the guy. No, she's the one that puts her thumbs through the kid's eyes.
Why did she take his
She
eyes
also
out, by
bites
the
off
way?
the pimp's.
know, they look
she
like
bites off the
computer
pimp's
eyes.
penis. She rips off the dick in her mouth.
But that's just a story. We don't actually know that happened.
Okay,
Look,
I mean that. Okay, well, it's in the story as
They
if it
show
did.
it.
So I mean,
It
if that's
happens.
really what
no,
you're
it's just
contesting,
conjecture.
I'll get a judge
within
in here
the
right
movie.
now, and he'll shoot you.
I think.
Don't put me in the ISO cubes.
And also, she gets on the Gatling gun when she
Double
goes. No,
whammy.
she
No,
goes.
okay.
No, she gets on the
That's
Gatling
fair.
gun and mows down a whole
That's fair.
fucking block.
I think that like the boss in,
That was
in
badass
the
with
raid
the
is
hammer,
much more
though.
brutal.
The
I
guy
think
in the
he's way
raid
more brutal.
scares me. Was scarier to me just
Yeah.
because it's like because
Mama also threatens to take out
'Cause you're a
50
misogynist,
stories
I get
just
it.
to kill
People,
herself when
yeah,
she
yeah.
puts on that
Yeah.
thing. So yeah, she's
true.
pretty.
She's brutal, but I think because the violence in
I'll
Dredd
tell you
is
what,
so
I would
stylized.
rather be beaten
Video
to death
gaming.
with a hammer in the back of the head than skinned alive. So I'm gonna say
Yeah.
Mama.
Well, I'm gonna do both. How about that?
Mama's scary, but
You're
I
gonna
want
get
to
skinned
know.
to death and get beat with a hammer.
No, I'm gonna skin you alive and then beat you with a hammer.
And
as
then
long
the
as you don't touch my belly button in my mouth.
The other question is, what's
Do
with the
both.
computer eyes for
I don't know. He was like her like pet tech guy who she like tortured and I don't know.
But how
Who
did
never
his-
slept ever, apparently.
But that's why he turned on her. That's why he
Yeah.
was like, "I'll give you the code."
You think as a wizard he would have figured out how to get out of that situation?
That's right.
Bill
He would've-
Weasley.
Oh, he didn't have his wand.
He would have just. Well, he could have still just apparated.
That's true.
He didn't want to splinch
Oh, that's
without the
boy.
wand.
Oh boy, good call.
Nerd hole.
That's right. We're here just to talk about Harry Potter.
We're here chatting about Harry Potter with Sam Fisher. How are you,
Harry
Sam? And
Potter.
what house are you in?
Wait, that's the Weasley is like he takes his sticks rare now, right?
Yeah, the one that gets like part werewolf.
Yeah, he's the
and
one that
like
marries Fleur.
yeah, and in the books they like go on about how gorgeous he is.
He's not with them eyes.
I don't know, man.
Not with those computer eyes.
I think like
Why
the,
did they have to be
long-
hexagons?
Yeah,
Grimy
why did,
hair.
I mean, why not just let him have regular eyes?
That was the whole problem, is because he
It
was
was
sleeping on his
badass.
job. That's why she gutted his eyes. Because did you see how red they were? Like he never slept, and that's how
I
he
think
was,
that was from her fingies jamming into him.
I mean,
That's-
I
that's
thought
what my
that's just
mouth
'cause-
had.
I
That's
thought
what
that's
happens
just
to my
'cause
mouth.
he had computer eyeballs, and they weren't
Also
real
that.
eyeballs.
Yeah,
It
like
just
the
seemed like he-
oil for the computer parts. 'Cause
Oh,
that's
so-
what you do for
so you had to
computers.
oil his eyes.
Yeah, like the Tin
Yeah.
Man.
Ooh,
At the heart of it, this is a Wizard of Oz.
this is the
story.
Wizard of Oz. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
At the heart of it.
Just like how Scarecrow loses his skin.
So
Yeah,
is
so-
is Dredd Dorothy, or
And then
is
does
Anne
slow-mo.
Dorothy?
No, Avon Barksdale's
Avon
Dorothy.
Barksdale is Dorothy.
So
By the way, Avon Barksdale would have ran that tower.
For
the,
sure.
The character Avon Barksdale would have not gotten
No,
the
he-
police involved.
right. So here's the thing that I noticed, and it this may be because it's like a foreign language film, but
It is.
I thought that the raid had so much more mystery to it. And like, granted, I've seen Dredd before, but like watching it, it was like I didn't remember any of the stuff that happened, like barely.
Yeah,
It's
I
been
didn't
years.
remember the bad guy judges.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
I
But
keep wanting to call the bad guy Dreads.
no, it's the other part of his name.
You dread the bad guys.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I thought that in the raid there was a lot more mystery and there was a lot more tension of like, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't necessarily expect anyone to live in this. You know, I thought anyone could die, but in Dredd, I was like, he's not going to die no matter what. I know he's not going to die.
And you didn't expect her to die either.
Yeah, but I mean, I could have seen it for like emotional, like something. I don't know. She gets shot, and you're like, oh shit, and he gets shot. They both get shot.
Yeah.
Which
the
is
same spot too.
Yeah, basically.
They're the
but it's
same
cool.
person.
Do you think after the cameras cut that he said twinsies?
It's Fight Club.
Yes.
That is classic Carl Urban.
Classic Carl Urban.
Why didn't, if they got shot in the same spot, why didn't they have them get shot at the same time? Like one went through her and then through him, and then he found out he got HPV or something. She had it.
He got bloodborne psychic ability.
Then he gets the mutie.
That's how you get it?
Yeah. That's how you get it. It's a bloodborne virus.
Pathogen.
Oh boy.
Well, I like learning stuff.
So,
because it gives me wrinkles.
So obviously these movies both set up for a sequel.
They're going to say sucked.
So obviously both these movies set up for a sequel. The Raid pays it off, and none of us have seen that. But Dredd sets up for a sequel, and there was a lot of talk of it afterwards. It was successful. Like it did well. Yeah. People liked Carl Urban as Dredd. Like, do you think now with like the success he's had with like Thor Ragnarok and The Boys, like, do you see him like wanting to go back and do a sequel to that movie at some point?
I don't see why not.
Yeah, I don't see why not. I just don't know if it's like a sequel. To me, I don't think a sequel is necessary.
It isn't, but like I'm interested in more stories in that world and with him, that character.
It seems like it could be an easy cash grab.
Oh, very easy.
Come back to.
It could definitely be like almost like an anthology series of film. Like it doesn't have to have any continuity.
The real issue is that there's like, Dredd doesn't have that much to do besides he just shoots people.
Well, yeah, he's got tons to do.
Well, I mean, but that's why
he's not even hitting 94% of the board, bro. He's got plenty of stuff to do.
Well, but that's why in like the Stallone
he
movie,
could do side missions.
It is the
where
story
he flies
about
a blimp. Like he could do all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
It's not GTA 5.
One where he's a stuntman.
The Stallone movie's about fucking genetic cloning.
Yeah, and he finds out some stuff about himself.
We could do one where he goes back in time to fight his older self, which is Stallone.
We could do one where he
goes back in time to fight his older self.
We could get one where he goes on a road trip in Mega City and just fights people, and he's got a orangutan in tow.
Yeah, that's right.
Is he dressed up like someone though?
No, he's dressed in his normal Dredd costume.
No,
except he has like a tweed blazer also over it.
No.
So does the ape have the helmet?
I mean, it's shaved, obviously, but it also has a helmet.
Duh, no one's gonna be intimidated by it if it's got hair.
Yeah, why would you? I've never been intimidated by a human with hair. Like, come on.
Why do you always flinch when I'm around? I'm always dick tap.
Because you're smooth. Glistening.
Like a dolphin.
Ugh, what a gross episode we've crafted here tonight.
Yeah. It's weird when we have a guest.
No, it's fun because we get to hang out with Fisher.
Yeah.
What else you got on Dredd?
Me?
Yeah.
I have a lot of my notes crossed out. I don't like when they're taking over, when they do I want to say war games or whatever war tests they're doing for the whole compound when they lock it down. But when they're taking it over, they go into the IT room or whatever, they're at the control room, and he plugs in a router and goes, "The router is in." I'm like, it's fucking router.
Yeah, when he says router, I was not happy about that.
Like
he wasn't like foreign or anything. It didn't make sense. It's a very English accent. I'm sorry, American accent.
American.
But he is English.
The router
right?
is in.
The goatee guy?
Yeah, goatee guy.
I mean,
I don't know. I don't know if he's English or not. I don't know why I said that even.
The other thing I didn't like was, and then maybe they're based off the comic book, those fucking motorcycles were front heavy.
Yeah.
I didn't like how bulky they
Goofy.
were. Cause I'm like, do they have missiles in them? Or
Yeah,
You know what they
got-
look
they
like?
had guns in them.
They looked like
Yeah, but you could like
He
the
shoots the
gun
guns.
the guns they have such compact ammunition for how much the ammo the clip holds. Like there's no way that you would need motorcycles with that much.
I mean, that's why they're futuristic.
Yeah.
They gotta
'Cause they're
hunt down
heavy?
those 1980s.
They look like
vans.
Lego motorcycles.
It looks like they compacted those 1990s vans and put it on the front of a motorcycle.
I mean,
They did.
I'm
Oh,
assuming
that's why
that's
I'm
like
sorry.
that's carryover from the comic.
maybe
Yeah, it's gotta
maybe
be
it was like a
style-wise.
cartoon where like they pull up if they want to get through a wall and a big hammer comes out and starts smashing like a cartoon. And that's why the fronts are so big.
Yeah, sure. That. So I thought the war game thing, like taking over the control room. I thought that was a red herring because pretty quickly Dredd gets outside and calls in another like.
Not
You
pretty
know,
quick.
calls
That's,
him
that's
back
like
up.
more than halfway through the
Who
movie.
are fooled very easily.
Yeah.
They're like, you better hurry up.
Better hurry up.
So he calls from the skateboarding
Yeah,
platform.
from the
and
half
it's like,
pipe.
okay, we got our comms are back on,
They're
and they
like
call us for
70
backup.
stories up,
And
and
they
there's a
send-
fucking skate.
and
One,
they
of the,
send
one of the levels from Tony Hawk Pro
Yeah,
Skater.
it is. It is from this. Yeah, Tony Hawk 2. So, so he's like, all right, we need backup. So they send two guys, and they're like, all right, open up. They're like, oh, but we that's the belly
Yeah,
button
that
knife scene.
computerized guy. Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we can't. He goes, well, you better, or else I'm gonna get you with obstructing justice. He's like, okay. And then like
100
nothing
years in
happens.
ISO cubes.
Yeah.
And then that's it. That's like the end of the discussion.
And then the four bad dreads, as you would call them, show up,
Yeah.
and they're like,
BDs.
open up. They're like, all right. That's it.
Yeah, and then
That's
the
all.
good ones are like, oh.
Yeah, they're like, he's like,
And they're-
you're relieved, and they're like, oh fuck, okay.
I guess we'll leave. We
Well,
won't help these cops in
I
trouble.
guess the judges are also just kind of working guys. They're like, all right, well, these four dudes are here, so I'm gonna get
Yeah,
One of
I was
them's a
gonna say, like,
lady.
do you think they go off and just like
I'm gonna go back
talk
to.
about the new 1990s model van, or
I
Yes.
guess
I hope so.
what did Dredd do? Are Dredds ever off work?
it doesn't seem like it doesn't.
We're
seem
calling
like,
him Dredds
It
now.
doesn't
by the
seem
way.
like Judge Dredd is ever off work.
No, and the main bad Dredd.
Doesn't
Is-
like. Doesn't
He doesn't like him.
Doesn't like.
He
Judge
knows
Dredd.
him and he doesn't like him, and that's why
You
he
mean
said
Lex?
a million. Yes, Lex. That's why he said it was 1 million credits to take him out.
Yeah,
He's
wouldn't
like,
you?
I know that judge.
If you're a bad Dredd, wouldn't you just kill the other Dredds to get the full million? The million. I hate that say credits.
Look,
And also,
he
it
credits.
seems low.
No,
Yeah,
in the
for the
future when, like,
future, a million's
inflation,
got to be like,
like a million's
20
like-
bucks.
no, because it's
A
not
million's like-
dollars. They have
so
a
they're
new
getting
system.
$5.
It's like 1 million bitcoins,
Oh fuck!
I don't want to talk about this.
a million Dogecoins.
There you go.
Cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Yeah, a million seemed like it was low. Like in 2012, a million was still high.
It's kind of like that joke from Austin Powers where he's like
$1
$1 million, and they're like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
We should talk more about Austin.
Like,
Powers.
why didn't they, like, can we do something besides credits? Like notes? What about notes?
I mean, to what end? Like
To
credits
the end
works
of the,
just
of the
fine.
I
discussion
mean,
about
it's
it.
like they could have been like 1 million flim flams, and it's just like the same thing.
I mean, I wouldn't
yeah.
use flim flam, Sam.
Okay.
That was pretty lazy writing on your
Flip
part.
florps.
Flip flops. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm into it, Zach.
I mean, it
we're
could
going
be
to
like
try and get to the
calamari
end since you were
prawn
concerned
or
about getting
whatever.
to what end.
Flawn. What is the
A million flawns? I don't
no?
like
What
that.
is the Admiral Akbar currency? I think it's calamari flawn. I think that's what it's called.
Are you being serious right
Yes,
now? Is that a
100%.
thing?
I think it is.
Oh.
He's like, not for all the calamari flown in the universe.
Well, I did listen to like a deep dive Star Wars podcast where they talked about this, and one of the hosts would constantly go on about how delicious Admiral Akbar looked.
He doesn't. He doesn't.
But
I mean, he looks like a grouper, and grouper tastes pretty good.
Yeah, but
I
if you're
worked on a
looking
movie
at
called
the
Groupers.
fish, like this is like a steer. If I'm looking at a cattle, I'm not like I'm like ooh. And then it's served. I'm like, oh, that's good because I don't see its face and
All right.
fur. And if you shaved a cow, I'm like,
When you shave a cow, it's really
shave a
ripped.
cow, it's
So ripped, bro.
no, you know,
It
but
just goes to
bulls-
show that you can get jacked
but
being a
bulls
vegetarian.
bulls are ripped though, and if you shaved one,
it would be a
I
maniac
don't know,
of feet
man.
and fist.
I feel like if you shave
Be
a lot
maniac
of
hoof and
animals,
fist.
hoof and horn.
Of
I think
hoof
if
and
you
horn,
shaved a lot of
yeah.
animals, they would look way more tone.
Not a squirrel.
Like, what about a bird?
No,
I don't
You
think
shaved
you
a
can't
bird.
shave feathers.
You can
weirdo.
shave feathers. Yeah, with big
you
enough
have to-
clippers.
You got to pluck them though.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be the best way.
What
to
if
do
you
it.
plucked a human?
Because if you that'd
I've
just
been
be-
plucked.
Yeah.
I've had my eyebrows plucked. I didn't like it.
Like the string of a hop, he's been plucked.
Yeah.
He hath been plucked from us.
Oh,
I don't know
What you guys doing over
I
there?
don't know.
both of
we've
you?
gotten weird. All right,
Yeah.
so how do we wrap this
If you
thing
shaved
up?
a bird, the bird wouldn't work anymore.
Yeah, but cats.
That's true.
When you shave a cat, they look.
But they'd work
gross.
for dinner.
Well,
and,
yeah.
and a dog.
I have a friend, and they.
So
have,
I guess
they have,
it's Fisher. Your idea of everything being toned is not correct.
not clearly.
No,
Just 'cause they're
mammals.
shaved doesn't mean everything looks good. Did you
Shave
know-
a whale and it looks toned.
shave the whales.
Wow, that was an accident and it worked.
Nuke the whales. You got to nuke something.
That's right. All right, so I would say, Sam, do you have any
Do you
final?
want to come back?
Shut up.
Yeah, I'll come back. Yeah.
No, do you have any last questions for either of us to sway you either way? Like anything else you want to get into or ask one of us specifically to try to before you make you render your verdict?
I mean, do you guys have a closing
Before you
argument you'd each
sentence
like to
us.
make?
The only thing I haven't said about this movie
Yeah.
is that Mama,
Cersei
comes from
Lannister.
the S9 Pleasure District, and I wonder if that's a floor. Is that like
No,
floor
no, no.
9?
Is it a
No, it's
floor
a
in it?
district.
It's
It's
a
a
district of
district
Mega City.
in Mega City 1.
That's what I'm saying. Do you think it's floor 9 where it's just prostitutes?
No, I think it's
Must be.
whole buildings, whole blocks that are just hookers.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
The
I was thinking
pleasure
just-
district, yes. It's
Yeah,
it's
but
hookers.
once again,
it's like
you know,
drugs. it's
Mega City,
vices.
those buildings, they're like a one-stop shop. There's got to be
no, because people
quick
just live there.
marts.
There's a grocery store.
That's
you
what
know?
I'm
It's
saying.
like,
So there's got to be a prostitute store.
no,
Where you go
to the
because
pleasure
there's a
district.
drugstore. There's the
I mean,
where
honestly-
you get your credits and your weed. There's got to be a
Your
prostitute
calamari
store.
flan.
I mean, they all look like just very sad malls. That big tower.
That's
do.
what malls are. Is just this building. Just sad.
What
This
if
looks
we
like
just
malls
took all the
stacked on each
malls
other.
and built up on top of them
yeah
for our
that's
mega
the future,
cities?
the near future.
Oh, good.
And there's
So
gonna be
anyway,
blast doors on them.
All
too.
I have to say is that there is an S9 Pleasure District, and how much do you think it is? Since we don't know how much a million credits or notes or flim
A million
flobs.
credits, I guess, is a
Um,
lot.
Okay, so how much would so then by that prostitute would be the same amount now? How much is a prostitute now, guys?
I don't know.
Do we have any idea? I have
None.
no idea how
no,
much.
we're cowards.
Do you think 50 to 100?
Squares.
Do you think 50 to $100?
I don't
gotta
know.
Would
be
be a
more.
prostitute for
I did
like
get
just sex?
propositioned once.
It's got to be more.
It's got. I think it's more. I think it's two. Do you think it's $200?
I mean, I
It
think
depends.
It depends on it's like you
Quality.
I would assume you get what you pay for.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, because I almost said the old saying. 'Cause that's not an old saying of like a $20
What?
BJ. But I don't. I think that's an old
I
saying.
don't
Like
know
that's
what you're
that's
talking
the
about.
old days.
I mean, I went on a date with a girl in LA.
you gave her
and
$20.
We were talking, and she's like, "I don't know what I'm going to do for work." She's like, "Maybe I'll just be." We were like drinking
an
tea.
escort?
She's maybe I'll just be an escort, and I was like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay." And she's like, "Yeah, I'll just charge like $500 a night," and I was like,
You're like,
Well,
look, dude,
an
pay my
escort-
rent.
Crazy,
An
but
escort to
I
me
guess
is
if that
different than a
works-
prostitute.
Yeah, semantically, sure. But
That's what I mean. An escort just seems like a higher end, so it's
Yeah.
different somehow.
yeah, I'm such a square that like when a woman propositioned me in my car outside my sister's apartment where I was
What?
That's the most romantic place.
where I was driving there. I went there to pay her some money that I owed her that I had
this was
borrowed
not a
from
woman.
her.
See, I thought this was a woman in your car.
No,
Your
no.
sister?
She came and knocked on my window. The prostitute.
I was also on your. I thought it was
she
the girl.
like I do H jobs and B jobs and Z jobs.
No,
and
I
if
would
you
get
gotta
it.
Ask
You
what a Z
can't
job is,
afford
you
it.
can't afford it.
No, here's the
Hey.
thing. I would understand that. What she said was, and this is a phrase that I realized later was like trying to proposition me for sex. What she said was, "You dating?"
Oh yeah, that's the thing.
I was like, "What?"
Well, yeah, it's
Yeah,
a date.
you want to
I
date
was like,
tonight?
what?
Yeah. You looking for a date? That's a thing.
Sure, but I was like,
That's a thing from cop movies.
I
I've
am
seen.
so like just naive and guileless that I'm like,
Yep. Like, here's the problem, and I've thought about doing this before. When I see someone who I think is a prostitute, I want to approach them and ask the pricing, and then tip them for the advice. But then I'm giving a prostitute money, and I feel like that's when I'm gonna get busted.
Have you heard of this thing called Google?
Yeah, it's very.
I don't know
it's
that
variable.
you can find
it's
that.
variable.
You know.
I mean, I would assume it's all variable.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I'm assuming.
Okay.
I mean,
we've gotten.
All right.
If
Let's
you're
get off
at the S9 Pleasure District, what do you think you get for $50? I'm sorry, 50 credits.
50 credits.
50 credits.
I think Mama's gonna.
Yeah, I think Mama's gonna finger your belly button with a knife.
I don't know. I would assume 50 credits is gonna be
a tug.
A massage.
Nice,
it's like a massage parlor in the S9 Pleasure.
What? Like, are you Robert Kraft or?
Yeah, one of those kind of situations.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's a rub and tug shop.
Okay, sure.
That's my assumption.
So
we ended mine with a milking. So what do you have, Zach?
So I will say one of these movies was clearly made before the other. One of these movies
you're calling copycat.
has incredible fight choreography.
Was yours a comic first? So mine's older.
No, because
stupid idiot.
Because the comic does not have the premise of fighting up a building. It's just about a hyper future cop, which we get. You're a bootlicker. That's why you're arguing for it. I get it. You love the police.
You see how he takes it personal.
So I think that the Raid Redemption is more complex, more
Notice
interesting.
the subtlety of Zach's hand when he speaks,
and
as if he was
more
pushing down on a giant button.
So
that's my final argument. Thank you for my time.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming over, coming to my basement. Yeah.
And I give my time back to the floor.
Okay. Also, you are the hosts of this show. So
oh my God!
Yeah,
You're
I was
right.
gonna say, Jesus. At some point, someone's got to take control of this.
At some point, you have to tell me.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's my final argument for the Raid Redemption.
Yeah.
We've heard your final argument for Dredd. Would you like to give us your little breakdown, how you weighed out the factors, and wrap it up with your determination of which movie wins?
Judged, if you would.
Oh, I do like that. Yeah. Okay.
So I've got to say, it's. I'm sorry, Chris. You have had an uphill battle from the start.
That's okay. I always do.
You and Lyle always uphill.
Sisyphus,
who's on whose back, right?
I know, right? Who's pushing whose boulder?
I'll tell you, he's been pushing his boulder tonight.
Oh no!
In that van. I'm not gonna have sex with an ape.
No, it's a monkey.
I mean, I think.
Of course not. It's got a tail.
I was gonna say, hands down, I think that The Raid is a better movie than Dredd.
Why do you think so? Just curious.
To me,
I'm not furiously angry at you.
I'm going to give you my reason. I think The Raid it's first up. I think the action scenes are cleaner. I like watching those kinds of scenes more. There's less slow-mo involved. There's
less reliant on CG.
Less reliant on CG. It feels more impactful. I think the plot is simpler. It's more fun. So like the twists and turns are more fun in it, and like just watching the guys fight is so kinetic and so engaging, even though it's so brutal. Like crazy guy, Mad Dog. Watching him fight is amazing. Like watching those fight scenes, you can't get any better. Or like the scene where they're stuck in that room and they chop a hole in the floor and have to go through it. I mean, they're clearly like having like, I don't know what the budget of this movie was, but they're clearly not a huge budget.
Yeah.
And that stunt crew, whoever that stunt crew is clearly like immensely talented and have just been putting in the work and not getting, credit, I guess, besides this film.
Sure.
So it's like part of it's like a discovery. It feels like you're discovering like this immensely talented,
like a hidden gem
group of people.
Can I say something now?
I wish you would.
Remember when I was texting you a couple days ago about this movie? I'm not mad because I chose Dredd. Yeah, I agree. The Raid is good. No, it's fucking no. It seemed this is definitely someone's passion project.
This isn't
like so. I would say the choreographed fight scene. I can't remember what I texted you, but it was like I was like I am just enthralled.
Yeah,
with
he
this
texted
movie.
me about like
this
the
is fucking
cinematography is
bonkers
incredible.
off the wall. No, yeah, and even I don't even know how to visually describe it. But yeah, besides how well they all, like I said,
I mean, it doesn't rely on shaky. Like I hate
Do
when
the
there's
action-
shaky cam and a fight scene,
and
they don't have that.
And you guys didn't even talk about the first machete gang with the lead who's coming at him, and then they go Dutch real fast. It's just the camera angles they
it's
chose
badass.
for everything, and like you said, going through the floor, and then how they split up. And then just the tension that builds up when they're in the guy's house with a sick wife, where he sticks the machete through the wall and it cuts them.
And it
It's
cuts
just the
through.
tension that builds up.
So
Yes, you're
badass.
right. It's
and you know
it is a better movie.
And he
It
takes
is.
his fingers up and
Wipes
like,
the blood.
wipes the blood off as the guy
so cool.
pulls it
Yeah.
out. I mean,
Is that what? Oh, that's what he was
That's
doing.
what he was doing. He was
because the whole
wiping the
time I was
blood
thinking,
off.
oh, the guy's gonna notice the blood, but I thought he was trying to protect it so it didn't cut deeper. So he wipes it off.
I think he was wiping the blood.
Gotcha.
blood off.
But
I mean,
I think the Raid has like its fingerprints on more like mainstream media than you would expect, even because like look at some of those fight scenes in like the Daredevil Netflix series. Like it owes so much to the fights in the Raid, you know, and I mean also like some of the like Korean stuff that's really great. Like obviously we talked about the Old Boy hallway hammer fight scene, which is incredible.
I mean, there's like the Man from Nowhere, which came out before this, but also has
Yeah.
like very clean, very cool looking fight scenes.
I think that when you talked about the shaky cam action fight scenes, what I thought of immediately was the American Old Boy remake.
Yeah, because you have actors who are not as
Yeah.
good at stage
martial
like
arts.
these guys
Yeah.
are martial artists, I'm assuming, who then started doing acting,
Yeah.
right? Or something like that, or they're stuntmen.
yeah.
who
I
are
saw the
also
remake of
actors.
Old Boy first, so
Same.
then going back and seeing the original, I was like, oh, nice.
So did I, and it was bad.
Yeah, I didn't think it was bad. It made me want to watch the original.
I thought the story was good. You know what's
I
funny
liked
though?
both. They're
Yeah.
both
So
good.
the story, and especially seeing the American one first, they telegraph way harder what the twist is. It's way more
Yeah,
overt.
yeah.
Yeah.
When you watch the original, you're like, oh, this is subtle as fuck. I like Josh Brolin a lot too.
But yeah, I
He's
wish
great. He's fun.
I wish I didn't know we were structuring like this, so I didn't take notes on the Raid at all. But I did have a lot to comment
Yeah.
on.
I mean, the Raid. I think the Raid is just like as a movie, it's like it's harder to not pay attention to it.
Yeah.
You know? Like during Dredd, I could like sit there and I was like,
Could zone a
I
little.
know, like you could get distracted like on your phone.
Oh,
in
yeah.
slow moments where you could like be distracted by anything. In
Slow-mo.
the
Well, it makes me think of when he pulled, and I guess this is just how they have it set up in that part of the world. But they had a propane tank for the oven or whatever,
oven?
and
Oh,
he
yeah.
pulls
Yanks
it
it out
off
and
and puts
puts
it
it
in
in
the
the-
fridge, and they
oh.
slam it against the wall. And as soon as he opens it, it explodes. But you know, if they did something like that in, let's just say, an American film like Dredd, it would be like them holding their ears or getting. It's really
They would milk it.
The sound, yeah, you're right. The sound would build
Yeah, it'd
up
be
for
like-
this one moment, and then it goes silent, and then.
Yeah, there's
But
no.
that it's like instantaneous. It's like as soon as they do it, it's already
I
happening.
mean, is there any slow mo in the Raid? I don't think.
I don't
there
think so.
is.
No.
I mean, that's,
No, they did
not
it
even-
all.
that's
That's how
not
they're
even
fighting
slowing
so
down
hard.
the
That's one of
fights.
that's one
because
of
they
the
really
reasons.
want more. So
It's
now
because
they're
it's like
amped up.
It's like everything's just happening at once. So it's like it's also, but that's also why it's a hard movie to watch.
Yeah. And also, I don't even think there's any of the drug slow mo in the Raid.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like they did it all, and they want more
They don't
now.
have
So
the
now
drug.
they're all on ice.
They had so many action set pieces like that. Must have been hellish to shoot.
Well,
It
the
was
fact that
funny
we
how fast they were putting things together, because I remember seeing the axe in the
Yeah.
beginning, like, what do they need an axe? And then he was instantly like, give me the axe, we
I
gotta
mean,
cut through the fucking floor.
everything,
Yeah.
everything you see in it gets used, which is cool.
Yeah, it's
Like,
very Chekhov's gun.
I mean, Chekhov's hammer.
every
I guess.
scene, it's Chekhov's gun.
Chekhov's hammer in every
yeah.
scene.
Oh, man, it's good.
But that's I think what's fun about that movie. I think Dredd, honestly, when I watched both these movies, I didn't look up when they were made. At first, I was like, I know they're around the same time. Is Dredd like? Did they like rip off the Raid?
Yeah, and
to
I kind
make
of thought
Dredd?
maybe it was inspired by
Yeah.
because it is like Dredd doesn't need to be about a guy fighting his way up a building. It can be
could be anything.
It can be any crime story in Mega City 1. It can be any you could make a noir Judge Dredd. You can make a sci-fi
Can you look
Judge
up
Dredd.
when the
like it's
screenplay was written?
I mean, Dredd.
I don't know how to do
I mean,
that.
Dredd. That 2012 was also right around when like That's when the second Avengers movie comes out. So it's
Yeah.
like the first real wave of all the other studios trying to jump on this, like,
Yeah.
Big
need
action.
to
pack.
make more comic books into more action films.
Yeah.
This is
That's
like
true.
Dredd's second chance. It's kind of like,
And it's the year before Snowpiercer comes out.
you know what it's applicable to? It's applicable to the Punisher one with Ray, whatever his name is.
Oh, yeah.
Punisher, like where, I don't know.
Punisher Warzone.
Yeah, that's the one before the TV series.
That was the director of Green Street Hooligans, Lexi Alexander.
I forgot about that.
I mean,
That's a fun movie.
It's
Yeah, it
kind
is.
of got a similar vibe to it. It's like, oh, you want the hyper stylized, very
Yeah.
violent Judge Dredd? Well, this is it.
It's very slick, like as far as like the effects and like the color grading. Even it's very big Hollywood. Like it feels like a lower budget movie that's trying to seem like that big action movie, you know, that's trying to have that Avengers feel. And it's still great. It's still a really fun movie, and like if there was a sequel, I would absolutely see it. But like, yeah, in that world it can be anything. You can do anything in that world,
You
you
can
know.
do anything in this world if you put your mind to it, Zach.
Yeah, like shave an ape. I get
Yeah,
it.
I get it. We can shave an ape.
I would never
name it-
shave a fucking ape.
Well,
name
you
it
gotta put it
Lyle,
still first.
Outrageous.
and
Oh, you gotta
put it in
sedate
your
it.
van.
Give it slow mo and
Give it
shave an ape.
slow-mo, and then it won't be able to stop you. But here's the question: is slow-mo? It's just your perception that's slower.
Yeah, it's
Everything
just
else is just the
perception.
same speed.
So it's not even
He's
cool
not-
like you
yeah,
get
but you
like
don't
a
move
power or
fast.
So
something.
if somebody is
No.
coming at you, you're just moving the same speed, but it just
No, I don't
looks,
think you.
It feels like you live
that's a good
longer
question.
because you go at 1% speed.
yeah, because
teeth
time
certainly
is
don't.
relative. Oh yeah, those teeth were falling out
Yeah.
like that when they
Yep.
bust into the drug den. When they're just like looking around for people. What's
Yeah.
Avon Barksdale doing in that drug den? If he's like one of the high up,
Right. Well,
Feelers?
he and you never. I don't know that. I don't remember seeing him do slow mo at all.
Yeah,
And
He just
yeah,
pushes
he had
it.
to focus.
Well, slow mo would help you do that.
yeah. Imagine how much.
I like that. I like that question though. Do you still move at the same speed? Because I don't think you do.
No, you do.
You definitely do.
Of course, you just
doesn't
move
look
at your
like you
regular
are.
speed.
It just doesn't look like you are.
Yeah.
I gotta try this.
I mean, those
thing.
people are all falling from the
So I fucking
top of the
understand.
building.
So
at the same
which do
speed.
we think is worse, slow mo or the
Skinny alive.
no or Nuke from RoboCop 3?
Oh, I'd.
They're the
I
same
mean,
drug,
nuke,
obviously.
nuke's super addictive though. We don't know if slow mo's addictive.
I mean, I feel like RoboCop. I
assume.
mean, slow-mo's got to be addictive.
What,
It has to be.
what does nuke do?
It makes a hissing sound when you
Yeah.
poke it into your neck.
It's like
It
one of
goes,
those. Yeah, well, isn't it one of
That's
those
what it
like
does.
the like a candy drink thing? Remember they came out with those where you rip them
I mean,
off?
Like the
RoboCop
wax
and
bottle?
Yeah,
Judge
the wax
Dredd,
bottle thing.
They're almost the same.
It seems
thing.
like they don't get high. They're just like, ooh.
like I
when
found
it
another
sticks 'em.
connection.
Because
Guys.
nothing happens when you do.
Next week, RoboCop 3
RoboCop 3
and Dredd.
and Dredd.
We gotta watch it again. And Sam will be back.
I do not want to watch. Please don't make me watch Dredd again. Nothing. I would watch it again, but like
not
maybe
that
in like, I
not
don't
that
know,
soon. I
2
wouldn't.
years.
Yeah, a couple years. Well, I really liked both of these movies. This was fun. I'm glad we picked these. We initially had Sam doing 2 other movies, but then we thought like let's give him the option.
Which I would have been more than willing to watch both those movies
Yeah.
again.
They're good movies for sure. And that's what we did last week with a different guest who
Yeah, we did that.
I
Already.
won't say here because if for some reason they can't do it, I've already talked to them. They said they would, but if for some reason I don't want to look like a real jackass.
Well, they won't see you.
Oh. Well, then they won't know because I look
Yeah.
like a jackass.
I won't tell them if you won't.
So, I guess that's it for this week's episode. Next week is our last Parallel Thought movie episode before we get into season 2, which we will be announcing the topic next week.
Announce it now.
No, we can't do
Tell
that.
us now.
I'll tell you off the air.
Ooh, off the
These
air.
jokers don't get it.
Hey, don't forget to say
Hey.
we're on Bearcast
Hey.
Radio.
No. Don't promote Mios in Clifton.
Hey,
What
do
you
your
had to
share,
do.
Shaven Ape.
Oh, do my share?
Shave an ape.
I would say
Um,
go find Zach and I's old college radio program that we did.
Guys, I have them all.
7 years
like
ago.
I could put them out
7
if
or
I
8,
wanted
I
to.
think 8.
It was 2013, I think, the fall of 2013.
Yeah, so 8 years
Yeah.
ago.
It was a lot of fun.
It
I
was
really
fun.
liked it.
I tell you what, finding out how often Zach has tried to do this shit, it makes me feel not special at all.
You're not.
I
Not even a little bit.
I felt really bad one time when we were doing it because
It's like he looked outside and was like, "Does anyone else want to do a podcast?" I'm like, "I haven't tried it yet."
We had like one. We'd have like 4 or 5 listeners because it was
Yeah.
like happening live,
Yeah.
only on the internet. And it was your
Right.
sister who was always tuning in, who had like little
She had some
kids.
opinions, yeah.
And I remember one time I was like, "That's a bullshit opinion," and then I was like, "Oh, we have like a 3-year-old and like a 4-year-old listening."
But also, we're on the radio and cannot say that.
Yes, we could. We're not on the radio. We're on the internet.
No, but they still cared. We still
I
still
never,
had to be
I never
censored.
heard. We never heard anything about it.
That's true because I don't think anyone listened to
No
it.
one listened.
But that's okay.
No one listened to that show. It was cool to put on
It was a lot of
pants and
fun.
go into that studio.
For real. Which is what we're trying to recreate here in my basement, obviously.
That's
sitting
right.
on the IKEA couch.
Y'all want to plug some shit?
Yeah, let's plug some stuff. So you can follow us on Instagram at Keystone Copycats. You can listen to Sinclarity, A Dinosaur's Tale, anywhere you find podcasts. It's a great show. I produce and edit. Sam, what do you got?
Let's see. You can. I guess you can follow me on the Instagram if you want. Samuel L. Pescador is my name because my students used to call me Mr. Pescador because that's just Fisher in Spanish. Check out my improv team from LA. They're called Pop-Tart Frosted Fantasy. We perform at the West Side Comedy Theater. Hopefully when things open back up again in this world, we all get that vaccine. And donate to Planned Parenthood and
Yeah,
other
always.
progressive organizations.
Well,
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks for having me on.
yeah, thank you for coming, and thank you, everybody, for listening. We don't have to do our stupid sign-off because it's a new thing. We can say whatever we want now.
Hi, Sam. That's what I want to say.
So are we going to say, let's say that.
I just want to know when Lyle, that shaved ape, is coming down into the basement because that's why I came over.
He's
he's
waiting
been
for Manuel
here
Samuel.
the whole time.
Wait, Zach, are you Lyle, the shaved ape?
Well, that's it for us. See you guys.